Welcome back, Truth Seeker. Monday, November 18th, 2019. We got basketball, little NHL, and of course Monday Night Football. Going to go over all of it. Maybe take a quick scan of college basketball as well. Hope you guys had a great day yesterday. 8-0 in the NFL on the games that were picked. And for the other three picks I put out in the morning, 2 in NBA and 1 in hockey, those went 2-1. Unfortunately, my favorite pick of that group did not come through. That was the Celtics. So 10-1 for the day. And then if you did bet Sunday Night Football, I'm guessing you got the game right. I'm not including that, but did put out the thing and underlined how if the Rams won last night, it would be the 83rd home win of the season for home teams. Los Angeles Rams 83, so good chance you won on that as well, but I'm not including that in the 10-1 for the day. So Aaron D in the chat, I don't know what you're doing, man. If you lost yesterday, I don't know what you're doing. Anyway, we already know what's up with the NFL, but Celtics and Kings game yesterday. Again, we tracked the Celtics up to this game, and I thought we had the riddle figured out. It helped us win multiple games leading up to it. But I thought the Celtics would finish the riddle right here and get to 6-1 away. And if you saw that highlight, the ball just barely rolled off the rim. Almost looked like it had a little push coming off. But yeah, I thought those Celtics would get to 6-1 away. Sacramento Kings 61, just like how we saw the Lakers go 6-1 at home. Boston Celtics equals 48 in the most pure cipher. It does have an S, so it is also 57, but I was liking the Kings to fall to 4-8. Kings 24 in the most pure cipher. I was liking them to fall to 2-4 at home. And then Luke Walton could have picked up his 156th loss yesterday, and Boston Celtics 156. So the only thing that was going against the Celtics is they play the Phoenix Suns next, and Phoenix Suns is 52. So the Celtics do go into that game 5-2. But I thought that was going to be the riddle right there. And I thought if the Celtics won, I was planning on talking about it today, I thought they'd be 11-1. The NBA Finals is 111. Finals is 61. And Finals is also 101. Had that shot gone in, they would have had 101 points. But I'm still sore about it. I thought that was going to give us our Finals riddle right there. The Warriors and Pelicans. Pelicans looked good yesterday. They were going to become 4-9. They did. Warriors 49. They were going to become 3-4 at home. Pelicans 34. And yeah, they got it done there. And then the Hawks and the Lakers game. I mean, it's no surprise the Lakers beat the Hawks, but I just saw some things here that concerned me a little bit. I thought maybe it might be one of those betting traps. The Hawks lose by 49 the night before. Of course, there was a good chance they would fall to 4-9. Hold on, I hear the phone ringing in the background. 1 second. I didn't answer it fast enough. Anyway, the Hawks lose by 49 to the Clippers, and then they fall to 4-9 against the Lakers. Staples Center 49. So I mean that ritual did make sense. I was just a little bit worried about being a trap game, and the Lakers maybe falling to 6-2 because Hawks is 62. But instead, they got the 7th win at home on the 17th of the month. So that was that. And then even though there was only 2 games in hockey yesterday, the Blackhawks game still looked good to me. Chicago Blackhawks equals 97. They had a chance to improve to 9-7-4. They're playing really well right now. They did. They improved to 9-7-4. The Sabres aren't playing well. Plus, it was the 17th of the month, the 7th prime. Sabres could get that 7th loss. Blackhawks could stay on 7 losses in regulation. So, and plus Chicago had a chance to become 6-3 at home against Buffalo 63. So it looked good, and Blackhawks handled business. So Pelicans came through, Blackhawks came through, Celtics did not, and that was the one that I wanted the most by a lot, by about 1,000 times, because it would have gave us. Had it come through, man, I would have thought that was the finals. But now that it didn't, in a way, it could still be kind of a finals riddle. If it ends up being Lakers and Celtics, let's just say that it ends up being Lakers and Celtics in the finals, could be a sign that the Lakers would win that series, and that's already what I'm suspecting, because the Celtics came up just short of hitting that finals number, whereas the Lakers already did it against the Kings. They became 6-1 at home. So, Caller?
Hey, what up, Zach?
What's up, man?
Hey, the Celtics, they lost on their 11th game, trying to win. The 11th.
Right. They were going for the 11th straight, right?
Mm-hmm. But this is something. When that week, Bill Russell, he announced he accepted his ring. He won 11 championships with the NBA championships. And that being said, the Celtics, the last game they won was the Warriors, Oakland Warriors or San Francisco Warriors,
right.
And the next other game was the Sacramento Kings, both California. And Bill Russell, he went to high school and in college in California, San Francisco and Oakland. So something, I just, the connection right there. On the 11th, try, I guess they lost, and he won 11 championships. So it happened within the same week.
Right. But, so was the first thing you said about Bill Russell about his Hall of Fame ring? Is that what you said?
He won 11.
Yeah, I got that, Izzy. But what did you say besides that?
The Celtics were running on had 10-game winning streak. On the 11th game.
I heard all that, but didn't you say something else about Bill Russell besides the winning streak?
No, that he went to high school and in California. He went to high school in Oakland and San Francisco, and the teams that they played were all in California. That the Celtics currently play. They played the Warriors, and then they played the Sacramento Kings.
Okay.
So it's kind of like that connection with Bill Russell right there, and it happened all within the same, in the same week.
I see that, and I just looked him up, and I saw that he accepted his Hall of Fame ring 44 years after the fact on this past Friday, and I'm just wondering what's up with that. I didn't know about that story until just now, so.
It's just like a lot of stuff, within and one of the weirdest thing is that we always talk about these ceremonies. And why? This is the first time I hear that he accepted the ring at a private ceremony. Usually, they want the fans say, "Oh, he's gonna be," remember, like they usually do the halftime or the pre-game ceremony. So that was really odd that he accepted at a private ceremony.
Right.
But that's all I got.
All right, appreciate it, Izzy. Thanks, man.
All right, bye.
That's it. He's 85 years old right now, Bill Russell. Basketball equals 85. His full name equals 86. He'll turn 86 February 12th. William Russell's 59. He accepted the ring on his 277th day of his age, which is the 59th prime number. William Russell's also 185 like basketball. I got to think about this one. There's obviously something going on with this. Let me check that out later. I'll do some more research on that later. Hey, what's up, man?
Hey, real quick, man, I want to chime in on that Boston game. That 5-7 is interesting too, because the Kings go to 5-7, so that could still be a riddle. With Boston losing to the King, right?
Well, NBA Finals does equal 57, so.
Right. And the thing that I noticed, Zach, I was leery on that game. I'm like, man, he really likes that game today. Look at the fucking line. You're talking about Boston was 10-1, right? Playing Sacramento that's 4-7. Why was the fucking line only -145? They were only a 2.5-point favorite. So right there, that tells me huge red flags. They're just wanting people. They know now. They know when there's a riddle, what we're going off of. They know if the riddle's strong. We got to pay attention to the lines. If there's a game we really like, we got to look at the line. That line just looked stupid.
Yeah. I did see that too. I was thinking it was that way because they were on such a long road trip, but yeah.
Yeah, but 10-1 against the Kings. I mean, I'm not taking that in consideration. I'm taking everything out of the everything out. You just look at the line. That line was wrong. It was wrong. It was way off for a reason.
Right. Yeah.
That's why they set the line at that, because they knew the riddle was there, so they want to suck more people in on that, and they did, obviously.
Yeah. Yeah.
That fucking line was bullshit, man. I don't care how good the riddle was. That line was bullshit. And the Kings did go to 5 and 7.
Right. Yeah, that's true. So.
That's all I got, man. I just saw that yesterday, and I'm like, man, there's something wrong with that line. That line is just not right at all.
Yeah, you had a good call on that then. So.
All right, brother.
All right, man. Appreciate it.
See ya. Bye.
That's it. Yeah, I saw the same thing he did, but I was just thinking, it's probably because they're on such a long road trip. So, and I thought they were going to complete that 6-1 thing. Yeah. So anyway, we can get on to today's games. NBA, there's 9 games today, and 9 might be the number today in the NBA. There's 9 games, so I'm thinking the 9s might play huge. Hold on, we got another call. Caller?
Hey man, how you doing, man? Are we on football? We back on football?
Well, we're going to talk football, but if that's what you want to talk about real quick, that's fine.
Yeah, definitely. I don't know if you saw this or not, but there was so Fresno in middle city, in a city in the middle of California, there was a shooting yesterday at a football party.
Yeah, I did a video
4
on
were
it.
killed, 6 were injured.
Yeah.
Well, I ran the Gematria football party, and both of those have the 55 Gematria connection.
Okay.
I noticed that the point spread is at 5 for this football game tonight.
The date numerology is 5.
Saw your notes. You said that, or you pointed out that both teams could pick up the 5 respectively.
Right.
So I think this football party is a kind of a clue. Also, 55 is the Fibonacci 10 triangular, and the word football equals 29, which is the 10 prime.
Right. Yeah.
So I think that this might be connected in some way, but yeah, just wanted to point that out as another kind of a back-end detail for this game.
All right. Appreciate it, man. Okay, so let's just go through. Why does it show that I'm calling somebody? That was weird. Okay. All right, so it's the 322nd day of the year, old 322. In Jewish Gematria, the NBA Finals is 322, so maybe some clues today. And the date numerology, 68, basketball equals 68, 41 the 13th prime, 23 the 9th prime. And again, there's 9 games today, so I'm thinking the 9s might very well be the number of the day. 322nd day of the year, leaving 43 days remaining. 43 is the 14th prime. So the Cavs at the Knicks. The only 9 that could play in this game would be the Cavs picking up their 9th loss. Actually, I take it back. The Knicks could also get their 9th loss in the conference. Caller?
Hey, Zach, one last thing I just found out. So, Bill Russell, the announcement was that week, right? He coached for both teams, Boston Celtics and the Sacramento Kings.
Huh.
So, kind of, and the same it's a lot of stuff going on there. But, hey, go figure.
Yeah. All right. Appreciate it, Izzy.
All right.
Thanks, man. Okay, so the Knicks have lost 11 straight home games to the Cavs. 11 straight. New York, the 11th state. The Knicks have lost the last 4 in the series, but they've lost 11 at home. The Knicks lead right now 111-99. That 111, that New York 111. Remember, Cleveland Cavaliers equals 111. New York equals 111. Both teams have a 111 connection. Knicks' next loss is 100. So the Knicks are 1-8 in the conference. If they lost today, they'd fall to 1-9. Knicks equals 67, the 19th prime, so that could make some sense. Again, you got the 23 date numerology. That's the 9th prime. But that's what I don't like about this game. Knicks can get the 9th loss in the conference, or the Cavs can get the 9th loss of the season. I don't like that the 9s go both ways. The Cavs are 4-7 in the conference. If they lost, they'd be 4-8. Cleveland's 48. New York has the 48 connection as well. Cavs play at the Heat next. They'd go in 3-4 with a win. So Cavs are 2-4 away right now. Again, they win tonight. They'd face the Heat 3-4. We're seeing a lot of teams go in with the home or away record that syncs up with the next opponent. So that's something for the Cavs. And 76ers equals 21. If the Knicks coach wins, he would go into the 76ers game with 21 wins. If they lost tonight, he'd have a chance to pick up 21 against the 76ers. That'd be a big upset. After that, they play the Spurs, another 21 opponent. But I think out of those 3 games, the one most likely to win would be the game at home against the Cavs. So it's possible he could get 21 tonight and then stay on that against the 76ers and Spurs. But ultimately, I'm not crazy about this game because the 9 can play either way. So I think this is the only game today where the 9 could go both ways. The Pacers and Nets game, you don't have a 9 connection here. It's the 181st game, the 42nd prime. The only 42 type rule I see on the board is if the Nets won, they'd be 4-2 at home. The Pacers lead 107-73. If they lost today, they'd get that 74th loss in Brooklyn, New York, 74. The Pacers have won 5 straight at the Nets. Pacers are 6-5 in the conference. Nets are 2-2 in the conference. If the Nets lost, they'd be 2-3. Nets equals 23. If the Nets lost today, they'd be 5-8. Nets equals 58. The Pacers play at the 76ers next. If they won today, they would be 3-4 away. And 76ers equals 34. Indiana equals 34. So Pacers win, they're 3-4 to face their next opponent. Nets lose, they take on the 5-8. Nets 58. And the 2-3 in the conference, Nets 23. And if the Nets lost, they'd be 3-3 at home. Indiana equals 137, the 33rd prime. So I'd say more looks better here for the Pacers, who are a slight underdog on the road. But my one concern is getting that 74th loss in Brooklyn, New York. Caller?
Hey, Zach. Just want to let you know Kyrie Irving's out tonight.
Kyrie's out tonight. Okay, so that would strengthen the Pacers' chances because it looks like the riddle's better for the Pacers.
Oh, okay.
So, all right. Appreciate that.
All right. Yep.
Thanks, man. Let's see. Kyrie Irving. Pacers status. Questionable. Out versus Bulls. Both teams are injured, it sounds like here. Alright, so yeah, declared him out late Monday. Caller?
Yeah, hey Zach, it's Mike calling. Just want to mention something real quick. With that Lakers and Hawks game, found it kind of interesting how the points up to 223, and then ESPN had an article where Kobe Bryant attended the game, and I just thought it was weird how out of all the games that they played this year, they never made it a point to make sure that people knew that he was at a game and that he gave dab to LeBron James before the game. So I just thought that was kind of interesting.
Yeah, somebody told me that the announcer said it'll be about 33 games until LeBron passes Kobe or something like that, which is funny because Kobe equals 33, so does LeBron, so does James. So.
And then the point total, 223, which is 322, backwards. I thought that was just, what's the chances of that? So I thought that might be, so I don't know if you think that's something, but
well, James,
I just noticed that.
The name James equals 223 in Satanic Gematria, so they used to always have him and Kyrie pose next to each other, number 2 and number 23, so
Isn't there something with? Didn't you say something with 322 has something to do with Skull and Bones too?
Yeah, that's their number, 322.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I just thought it was weird, man. But that's all, man.
All right, appreciate it.
Yeah.
All right, thanks, man. All right, so Kyrie Irving is out. And, yeah, so anyway, I mean, the numbers look better here for the Pacers today. This is the one concern right here. Pacers picking up that 74th loss in Brooklyn, New York. Wouldn't have to come today necessarily, but it's just the one thing that I see that could go against them. The Hornets and Raptors. The Raptors are one of the teams that can pick up their 9th win today. And let's see. Hornets have won the last 2 in the series, the last game at Toronto. The Hornets are 4-2 in the conference. If they lost today, they'd become 4-3 on the day, leaving 43 days left in the year. Toronto, Owens, 43. Toronto's on the 43rd parallel. The Hornets' next 2 away games, next 2 conference games are Raptors and Nets. If they lose both of these games in the conference, they'd fall to 4-4, and then they face the Wizards next. Wizards 44, so very possible the Hornets drop the next 2. If the Hornets lose, they're 6-8 today on the 68 date numerology. About the only thing I see that could go for the Hornets is them becoming 4-3 away, because we just talked about the 43 connection. But the 43, again, that can also become their conference record. I think that's more likely. Toronto is 3-2 in the conference. They play the Magic next. Magic is 33, so if they lost, they'd face the Magic 3-3. But looking past that game, they play the Hawks after that. So imagine the Raptors beat the Hornets today, beat the Magic, and beat the Hawks, which are all very winnable games for the Raptors. They'd be 6-2 in the conference. Hawks is 62. And then if you want to go one past that, Toronto is 72. So they very well could end up being 7-2 in the conference. Again, the thing I like about the Raptors is that they have that 9 connection. I expect the 9 to play today. They're also a 9-point favorite. Could be a number of 9-point games today. Let's see. The narrative for the Nets or the Hornets to upset is that if they won today, they'd be 4-3 away, and then if they won their next away game, that's the Brooklyn Nets 53, they could become 5-3 away. But it's also, you can see the scenario with the conference record if they drop the next 2. So if they win today, I'd say they have a good shot to upset the Nets in the next game. That might not even be an upset, but if they win today, they'd have a good chance to beat the Nets in the next one. But I'm thinking because the 9's there with the Raptors, they do take it. Better team at home. They got the 9 in their favor. So I think that's more likely scenario. In this game, the Blazers and Rockets game, the 9 is going against the Blazers. And Houston Rockets equals 59 in the most pure cipher. There is one S in there, so if the Blazers lose, they're 5-9. But because there's one S in there, Houston Rockets is also 68. You have 68 date numerology, so that would be the Blazers' narrative to win, becoming 6-8. But again, the 9 in the date numerology, Houston Rockets 59 in the more pure cipher. I'm thinking that's more likely. Plus, if the Rockets win, they're 6-1 at home. Blazers equals 61. They host the Mavericks next. Mavericks is 61. So they can get to 6-1 at home, which will sync them up with their next home opponent. They'd be 11-3 for the season, old 1-1-3. The National Basketball Association 1-1-3. If the Blazers lost, they'd fall to 4-5 away. This is the 197th game between these teams, which is the 45th prime. And if the Blazers lose, they become 4-6 in the conference. Houston, Texas is 46. Rockets are 7-0 in the conference right now. They've won 7 straight games. By the way, the game's on NBA TV, which equals 59 as well. So, again, Blazers can fall to 5-9. And let's see. It's the 322nd day of the year. Remember, the World Series just had a lot to do with 322. A minor league player died today. And he played for the Twins, the old Washington Senators team. And if you missed the video or blog post I did on that, he's got all the numbers that connect to the Nationals. You know, we just called the Astros-Nationals World Series from the end of the regular season based on the 3-2-2 Skull and Bones rituals. Now you get a dead baseball player on the 322nd day of the year. Today also has 41 date numerology. Skull and Bones 41. That baseball player played for, what were they called again? Whatever the name of the baseball team is that he's playing for equals 41. So, but the Rockets were used in that World Series ritual. Game 7, Rockets were playing the Wizards. We had the Rockets to win. It was a nail biter. They came back from like down 8 points with 80 seconds left in the game to win it. I was thinking. I remember I was live on air doing my radio show and had the GameCast thing going on the computer screen, and I was thinking, God, how did I get this Rockets game? How are they not going to win today? I thought they were done, down 8 points with that much time left in the game, but they came back and won it. All right, Bucks and Bulls game. This could be an upset right here. Notice the Bucks are on 9 wins, the Bulls are on 9 losses. I wish they could pick up the 9s respectively, but it's possible that the Bulls could stay on the 9 and the Bucks could stay on the 9. The Bucks are 5-2 in the conference right now. If they lost, they would be 5-3. Milwaukee's 53, Chicago's 35. The reflection. However, the Bucks face the Hawks next, and Hawks is 62. So if they do win, they're 6-2 in the conference, heading into face the Hawks. That's definitely not out of the question. The Bulls are 3-7 in the conference, which makes sense. Chicago's 37, Milwaukee's 37. But that's not going to help us out with tonight's specific game. And let me check who the Bulls play again next in the conference. I don't think it helped me out when I was looking at it earlier. Yeah, they got Detroit next, and Detroit's also 37, but obviously they're not going to stay on that. So, in the Heat game, let me just double check, make sure I'm not missing something. Pistons, Heat. Okay. Yeah. Hard to say where they go with theirs. But again, the 9s could play in favor of the Bulls and against the Bucks today. The Bucks are 3-0 in the division right now, and if they lost, they would be 3-1, 31, kind of like 31. The 11th prime, Bucks is 11. The Bulls are 1-3 in the division. If they won, they'd be 2-3 on the 23 date numerology. If the Bulls did win, they would become 3-4 at home, and Bucks equals 34. So that's another thing that's there for them. Bulls win, they take on the Bucks Gematria for their home record. The Bulls play Detroit next at home. So if they win today, they could get to... Sorry, I hit the wrong button for the person just now calling in. I think I meant to answer, and somehow I sent them a automatic response. Call me back when I'm home. That's not what I meant to do. Here, let me just try to call them back. I didn't mean to do that. Let's see. So anyway, if the Bulls did win and they beat Detroit in the next game at home, they could get to 4-4 at home. Detroit's 44. If they split the next two, they'd be 3-5. Chicago's 35. Let's see. Oh, maybe it doesn't want to pick up now.
Your call has been forwarded.
All right, well, he can call back if he wants to. Okay. The Bucks face the Hawks next, and if the Bucks split their next two games, they would be 7-3 away. Hawks also equals 73. Caller, I don't know. That time you called it rung one time and hung up, so sorry about that. Call back. I will answer it as soon as it works. And the Bulls could lose their third straight game tonight. If you write out 3, it has the same gematria as Bucks. Caller?
Sorry about that, Zach. My phone was acting up.
That's okay.
About this Bulls game, if you look at the Bucks coach, he can pick up that 223rd career loss. It is the 322nd day of the year. 223 is the 48
prime.
We have 48 numerology today, and 223 is the 48th prime number.
We have 48 date numerology today? Yeah, I guess the lesser method, that's right. So.
And then I like how you can pick up that 223rd loss. It's a reflection of the day of the year.
Yeah, that's true. He can't get that 223rd loss. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that's good you.
Yeah, I think the Bulls definitely got a shot to upset here. So.
I like it too.
All right, man.
Thank you.
All right, appreciate it. Good catch. Why did I do that? His next win is 283, the 61st prime. Just thinking about that. Let me plug this in here. Bucks coach can get 223rd career loss on 322nd day of the year. Yeah. So it's not a one-way street because, again, if the Bucks did win, their conference record would make sense in light of who they play next. But if there's a good upset riddle on the board tonight, to me it seems like it's this one. Caller?
Hey, good afternoon, Zach.
What's up, man?
Okay, so I wanted to ask you. I'm good, thanks for asking. I wanted to ask you about an observation I saw about today. So today in history, Chester A. Arthur, the 21st president, died, and usually that wouldn't be like something I really pay attention to. But the reason why I am today is because it's 133 years since he died,
I see.
and when you write out president, it equals 133.
Right.
And not just that, the way he became the president was he was the vice president. At the time, the president was the dude from Cleveland, or what the dude from Ohio, and they're playing Cleveland today. That president got assassinated, and he was sworn in as the 21st president of the United States. So I want to know what you thought about that.
Wait, who's from Cleveland?
The actual president at the time was from Ohio, and the Knicks are playing Cleveland today in New York. And he was like a prominent figure in New York. There's a couple schools in New York named after him as well.
Right, I see. He died in New York on this day. Oh yeah, Garfield. Garfield was okay. So he replaced Garfield. Okay, I see.
Yeah, and he was the president of the Republican Party. But he was assassinated. Well, he wasn't assassinated. He was shot. He survived the actual shooting, but then died, I believe, a month later from the injury.
Yeah, that's what they say. So.
I just thought it was interesting they were playing on the anniversary of his death. And I wanted to see if, since you know that now, maybe possibly during the lab coat something else will hit you that you'll figure out with that.
I'm thinking about it.
Because that can't be by accident. And then today would be such a Mason day on the 322nd day. You know, with those collectives, the 133, the 322, and then now they playing a Ohio team in New York. It's just kind of funny.
Right.
It's definitely a mind blow, right?
Yeah, well, yeah, it's another good connection to history. Yeah.
Alright, but I'll let you sit with that, and I'll keep doing what I'm doing. If I come across anything, I'll tap back in with you.
Okay. I just noticed that the Knicks won, though. Skull and Bones is 3-2-2, and Skull and Bones and Gematria equals 41. If the Knicks equals 41 as well, if they won, they'd be 4-10 on the season.
And then their home record plays both ways, so it doesn't really help us, because I thought maybe since this is the 106 home game between them, I know Madison Square Garden equals 106, but the Cavaliers against the Knicks are 38 and 67, and today we got 68 date numerology.
Right.
That goes that way, and then they can pick up the 39 in New York. That goes that way as well.
Right.
So, doesn't help me.
Yeah, this game's tough.
All right, Zach.
All right, thanks, man. See you.
Hey.
Oh, with a win. All right, but hold on. Let's come back. We'll review them all. So anyway, Bulls look like they have a shot at an upset. Let me see Giannis's stats real quick versus the Bulls. No, that's not what I want. Giannis has 11 wins and 12 losses. So he's got that 41 date numerology, the 13th prime. Let me plug that in real quick. And let's see, what is he at Chicago? At Chicago, he's got 5 wins. He's 5-5 at Chicago. What's United center equal again? 57. But, yeah, I mean, Bulls got a narrative to upset, so if you're trying to play it safe, the points is definitely the way to go. If you're trying to get a big parlay multiplier, Bulls on the money line with some other picks that look good today, then you don't have to bet a lot. The Spurs and Mavericks. The Spurs can pick up that 9th loss today. Again, really looking for the 9s. 9 games in the NBA, 23 date numerology, the 9th prime. It's the 181st game, 42nd prime. The Spurs lead 112-68. That's about the only thing I see that could go in favor of the Spurs staying on the 68 losses on the 68 date numerology and getting the 113th win because Dallas is 113. And I mean, that is something. They would also improve to 6-8 for the season on the 68 date numerology. What's up, Ron?
What's going on, Zach? Everything all right?
Everything's good, man.
Yeah, I would call it to say, I noticed there's a lot of 9-point spreads today, so I was trying to see if we can try to at least get on one of them because we already know one of these dogs gonna pop today.
Yeah, I'm thinking it's the Bulls who are the most likely to do it. So.
Okay, because I liked it. I seen the riddle for Minnesota too, but I was just kind of like what I'm talking about because it's like since we know it's gonna be a big dog, it's like these are the games that we should try to get on top of because it's like the minus 300s and the minus 400s. You know what I mean? It's easy picking them. It's like you can just kind of use your logic, but the Gematria and Decode, what the community is a part of, is trying to crack the code of one of these games. So by us knowing it's gonna be 4 9-point spreads today, you know what I mean? I'm pretty sure one of them can pop, and I'm trying to just see if we can work extra thorough to be on top of that one dog. You know, I'm out here in Vegas too, so I appreciate it. We can work thorough today and try to find that one dog because we know it's coming.
I know why you like the Timberwolves because they can get to 5-2 away. So.
Right, and then Minnesota. I mean, Utah can go to 6-1 at home on the 18th, and Houston can do that too, 6-1 on the 18th.
Right. Yep, that's very true. So yeah, I'd say Minnesota's another team that's got a shot.
Yeah. So I just want to see if we can get on one top of these dogs outright today, man, because we know it's coming. That's all I want to really call in for.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, that's the goal. All right. Appreciate it, Ron. All right.
I appreciate it.
All right. Thanks, man. Okay. So Spurs can pick up that 9th loss again. If they did lose, they'd be 1-5 away. Texas is 15. It's the Battle of Texas. If the Mavericks won, they'd be 4-3 at home on the day, leaving 43 days left in the year. The Spurs are 3-5 in the conference right now. If they lose today, they play Los Angeles next. They'll probably lose that one too, so they could fall to 3-7 in the conference in Los Angeles so long as they lost today. And who they face after Los Angeles is Minnesota, so if they lose again, they'd be 3-8. Minnesota's 38. The Mavs are 3-2 in the conference. If they win today, they're 4-2. Spurs is 42. So looking at the conference records, looks better for the The Mavericks are 2-0 in the division. If they won today, they'd be 3-0. Dallas is 1-1-3, the 30th prime. Color?
Yeah, I noticed that the Mavericks are 41 and 49 at home versus the Spurs. We got the 41 date numerology, and we got the 50 peak numerology. They can stay on the 41 and pick up that 50th loss at home versus Spurs.
We got a 50 date numerology?
Yep.
I guess if you use like the experimental method, it's 50. Is that including the postseason?
It's not, no.
Let me
If
see.
you go to Basketball Reference and you go to Game Finder, you can actually look without the playoffs. Like, you can do regular season only to find all that stuff.
All right, hold up. Basketball Reference Game Finder. So say it again one more time what the record is.
The Mavericks are 41 and 49 at home versus the Spurs.
Okay. Okay, does this say regular season? Oh, home. I see what I need to do, home. Alright. Alright, hold up. 41 wins, yeah. And 49 losses. Well, that is interesting. That is interesting. So they could stay on the 41 on the 41 day.
Yeah, I figured out shit I figured that'd be important, you know what I mean?
Yeah, because that 68 could play for San Antonio today. There's 68 date numerology. They'd be 6-8, and they'd stay on 68 losses.
This might be a game to stay away.
Yeah.
Also, I see. Yeah, I mean, they can stay on their 68 losses, and the Spurs can become 6-8 too.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
Right.
Yeah, that makes it a little bit dicey there, doesn't it? So,
Yeah, figured I'd share out that home record with you.
All right, appreciate it, man. Thanks.
No problem.
All right, see you. Yeah, that 68 thing is dangerous, but almost everything else looks good for the Mavs. If they won, they'd likely beat the Warriors in the next game, and then they would become 9-5 for the season. Warriors is 95. So. Let's see here. Mavericks are 41 and 49 at home versus Spurs. 41 date numerology. Caller?
Hey, Zach. I just want to give out a betting tip for all the listeners. There was a caller earlier who was talking about taking that big dog on the money line. And just a simple example, if you're going to put like $10 on the money line, I think it's a lot better if you just put $5 on the money line and then another $5 on the plus money. So at least you can try to recoup if the team loses. So, you won't go all in.
Sure.
Just a little tip for everybody.
Sure. Yeah.
All right. That's it.
All right, thanks, Susie.
All right, bye.
Okay. Yeah, 68 is a little bit worrisome. That 9 goes against the Spurs, though. I'm thinking the 9 is going to be the number of the day. So. The Celtics and Suns game, that was the other thing, too, man. I was thinking the Celtics were going to lose this game after beating the Kings yesterday because the coach got his 224th loss. We talked about this like a week ago, him winning all these games up until the Suns game. Arizona's 84, the Divisors at 84, some to 224. Anyway, he picks up the 224th loss one game before. If the Celtics won, they'd be 11-2. Suns play on the 112th meridian. Suns win, they're 8-4. Arizona's 84. The Celtics have won the last 2 at Phoenix. The Suns are 3-1 versus the East. Boston equals 32. If they lost, they'd become 3-2. However, looking ahead, if the Suns beat the Celtics, and then the next team they play in the East is the Wizards, if they beat both of those teams, they'd be 5-1 heading into the Charlotte game, and Charlotte's 51. So they got to get past Boston though first. Celtics are 3-1 versus the West. So again, if they lost, they'd be 3-2. They play LA next though. If they win, they're 4-1, and then they go into LA with that 41. So I'd just say looking, if you don't look ahead to the Charlotte thing, which is possible, but if you just looked at today for the conference records, you'd have to think, okay, Suns can fall to 3-2, Boston's 32. If Celtics win, they're 4-1, and then they face LA 41. I mean, that's the more immediate thing. But then the trouble is, if the Celtics lose, they're 5-3 away. Los Angeles is 53, and they play at Los Angeles next. So you can actually make sense of the away record and the conference record for facing LA with a win or a loss. So it makes that a little bit tricky. And then on the Suns side, they host New Orleans next. New Orleans is 54. Somebody just got upset by New Orleans the other day and fell to 5-4. Anyway, so the Suns lose, they're 5-4 to host New Orleans next. So this game's a little bit conflicted here as well. Caller?
How you doing, Zach?
Doing well, man.
Let me ask a question, man. I ain't know Phoenix was favorite too. Phoenix favorite.
Right, 3.5.
Right now it's on the money line, 30% on Phoenix, 70% on the other side right now.
Yeah.
And the spread is 42 on Phoenix and 58 on the other side.
Yeah, okay.
So what do you think? We think about that?
Well, I'm not surprised. I mean, Boston's one of the hottest teams in the NBA, but Suns aren't bad, so.
Yeah, I thought Boston would be favored, though. I thought it would be, though.
Well, they're on a long road trip, so. This is like, what, the 5th game on the road?
Oh, Boston, I forgot they played back-to-back a lot this week.
Yeah, and they've been on the road for a second, so.
Okay, no problem, man. Just listen, no problem, man.
All right, appreciate it.
All right.
All right, see you. Okay. They got 1, 2, 3. Oh, never mind. Hold on. That's not where we're starting. 1, 2. Oh, never mind. I guess they had a little break. It's their 3rd game on the road. I was thinking they've been on the road this whole time. Okay. See something real quick. The cheat sheet. Oh, that's not what I want. Okay. Yeah, but this game, I mean, it's pretty dangerous. So, Caller?
What's up, Zach?
What's up?
Hey, I just noticed something quick. That Patriots and Eagles game finished with 27 total points, right? And we've been talking about the 27 with the AFC.
Right.
And if the Celtics lost tonight, they'd be 10-3, like 103 to 27 prime.
That's true.
So I just wonder, if it mirrors with the 27 points in the Boston Patriots game.
Well, then they'd be 5-3 too. Patriots is 53. So.
Right.
Yeah,
right.
interesting.
So just wanted to point that out.
All right. Yeah. Good observation. Appreciate it.
No problem.
Caller? Caller?
Hey, Zach.
What's up, man?
Okay, so one thing I noticed, so New York and Cleveland don't play again until next year. So them picking up that 39th victory at New York in a 39 year, I'm probably like leaning more towards that. And then the next time they play is January 20th.
Okay. Okay.
I mean, do you follow that at all? Like a 39-year or?
I see you're saying 20 plus 19, 39. Okay.
Yeah.
Let me see. New York Knicks, Cleveland Cavaliers. Just plug it in here. Okay.
Because then it kind of makes more sense with it being the Knicks and the Cavs linked to that 111, and obviously we'll probably see stuff on both sides or whatever, but it being the 39 and them picking up the 39 at New York, because I was hoping that they played another time before this year ended, but they don't.
If they won, they'd be 65, or they'd get their 66th win. That's the 11th triangular number. It's the 11th month. Knicks would get their 66th win versus the Cavs, and then at home you're saying they'd pick up the 39th?
So no, the Cavs. I'm sorry. So the Knicks would be 67 and 38 at home. So it would be the Cavs picking up the 39.
Oh, wait, what do I got here? I got the home record up, so hold up. What am I? All right. I just used this game finder thing.
So I have that the Knicks at home was 67 and 38 versus the Cavs. Do you have something different?
This thing here, the game finder shows them at 65 and 35 in the regular. Oh, unless it goes on to the. Oh, wait. Wait, there's more games. Let's see. Doesn't make it all fit on the same page. Okay, yeah, you're right. So 67 and 38. Yep, 67 and 38 at home. Yeah, you're right.
And then the Knicks would stay on that Knicks equals 67, and then the Cavs would pick up the 39, and the last possible chance to pick up their 39 in the 39 year.
Let's see, Knicks. Yeah, that does make some sense, because if they were 67 and 39, New York's 39 and Knicks is 67. So
yeah, exactly. It's like a perfect readout. And then it's the 106 games, so it's a total culmination because Madison Square Garden equals 106.
Right. MSG's 39 too.
Yeah.
Okay.
That was the closest thing I've seen to it leaning one specific way.
Yeah.
All
right. Appreciate it, man.
Take care.
All right. Thanks for your turn. Okay, so yeah, Knicks would be 67 and 39 at home with a loss. And Cavs would face the next opponent 3 and 4, which is the Heat. But man, that would mean they don't get that. Well, again, the 9 could go either way in this one. The Knicks can get that 9th loss in the conference. So somebody's got to pick up the 9. Yeah, it's tough, that one. Knicks would lose the 12th straight. I just thought about something about losing 12 straight. New York equals 78, and so does Cleveland, and that's the 12th triangular number. So I guess there would be a riddle with losing 12 straight between these respective teams. Knicks have lost 11 straight at home. Okay. Here, let me do this for the games that we already went over too. Brooklyn Nets, Indiana Pacers. Let's see here. So you have to remember on this thing, if there's more than 100 games, it goes onto the second page. It's all good. Okay. All right, so the Nets, they got 47 wins and 43 losses at home. (47 and 43). 43 days left in the year. 48 date numerology. Alright, let me do this for the other games too. Toronto Raptors, Charlotte Hornets, let's see. Raptors are on 23 wins, 18 losses at home. Alright. Rockets, Blazers. The Rockets got 63 wins, 34 losses. 63-34. Okay. And Bucks and Bulls. Let's do this too. Whoops. All right. No. Hold up. I got this backwards, though. The Bulls are at home. Chicago's got 65 wins. What goes on to the next page? $77 wins. $77 and 46 at home. So their next win is 78. Didn't really go with the date. All right, hold up. Mavericks and Spurs. I didn't know about this tool before today, so I'll start doing this for every game from now on. But since now that we know about it, I want to have it all plugged in there for today. All right. So Dallas on 41 wins. Caller?
Hey, Zach, I don't know if it could help you for the next page stuff. If you just go under team result when you're looking, if you click one, it'll give you all the wins. And if you go back to the losses, it'll automatically calculate all the losses for you.
If you do what?
You see where it says team result, you got the one, lost, or either. You click on one, and I'm not going to give you all the wins and then all the losses. Whatever you click. Figured it might be easier instead of going to the next page stuff, you know what I mean?
Hey, what do you got to click on to get it to show?
Under game result, it'll say one, loss, or either. If you put it on one, it'll give you all the wins, and then if you go back to on a loss, it'll give you all the losses.
Okay, I don't exactly understand because I don't see where it says game result, but
it's right under home and away.
all right. Well, I'll have to figure it out later. I don't get it right now. I don't see it. So,
Okay.
all right. Appreciate it, man. Thanks. All right. So Mavericks are 41 and 49 at home. 41 date numerology. Dallas equals 41. Spurs equals 42. But yeah, they could stay on those 41 wins, and then the 68 would play for the Spurs. Be funny if none of the 9s came through today. I have trouble imagining that. Let's do it one more time. Phoenix Suns, Boston Celtics. All right. 34 wins at home, 29 losses. 34-29. Suns is 35. Celtics equals 35 if you use the rule with S, so that next win's symbolic. Caller?
Yeah, Zach, just wanted to add one more thing. MSG equals 12, so the Knicks can lose 12 at home straight. And the last time they played the Cavs, which was the loss that initially started putting all this fire under Coach Fizdale about possibly getting let go, was November 10th. So that's like another 111 for you if you just dropped the 0. They might have been telling us that they're going to stay there.
They played the Cavs on the day, right? And they stayed on the 111 wins?
Yeah, they lost that day as well.
Yeah, I remember talking about that because it was 11/1, and both teams had the 111 connection. So yeah.
Yeah, and that was 8 days ago. So I don't know. Maybe they could stay on that because I know you keep looking for the 9s, whatever. I am too. I'm paying attention to it, but with them playing on that day, losing, not getting it there, and then this being the last one, I just think it's probably a better chance that they're gonna stay. And you can take the points. The Cavs aren't favored. So.
Right, yeah. And I like that they can lose 11 straight. It makes a lot of sense.
Well, this would be the 12th, right? The 12th straight?
I misspoke. I like that they can lose 12 straight. Yeah, the 12 straight makes a lot of sense. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Just wanted to make sure.
All right, appreciate it, man. Caller?
Hey, Zach.
Yeah.
Just let you know that the thing I'm using, your cold card matchup this week, you did pretty good. Because my thing was 9 correct. And you see with 8-0, right?
Yeah, we were 8-0 on Sunday, yeah.
So you know what I'm saying? And the thing I used was 9-0, so it was kind of real close. I mean, most time it do match up most time anyway. I just let you know that.
All right, appreciate it, man.
All right, man.
All right, take care. If you count that Rams game, what was underlined for the note last night, you could say we were 9-0 yesterday too. Okay, let's see, 46 and 16. (46 and 16) at home. I don't have any. That doesn't connect with anything though. All right. Last game to plug in here. Los Angeles Clippers. Who are we playing again? Thunder. $51 wins. 49 losses from that page. 51-49. So 52 wins. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 52 and 54 at home. So our next win at home is 53. All right, I definitely like the Clippers to win tonight because Los Angeles Clippers equals 81. They can get to 8-1 at home, become 9-5. So I don't think they're going to get upset. Where were we when we went back and plugged all that information in? Hold up. Celtics, Suns. Yeah, it's tight. Timberwolves and Jazz. Let's get what game we were about to talk to. So Timberwolves do have an upset narrative. Minnesota in 52. It's a number that hits a lot more often than not. If the Timberwolves win, they are 5-2 away. The trouble is, Jazz can get that 9th win, but like Rod said when he called in, if the Jazz lose, they'd fall to 6-1 at home on the 18th. 61 the 18th prime. Let me get that in here. So that does stand out. Caller?
Got another game, Zach. Old George versus old team. Gallinari going back to play his old team.
That's true.
We got a good one today.
Yeah, he's been on a bunch of teams now. He was only on the Thunder for what, 1 year?
It was this Georgia, Indiana.
That's the team I think of when I think of Paul George.
Old George, yeah. It's interesting. It's going to be an interesting game. We got, depending what you're looking at, we've got a couple 9 spreads on the board, a couple 10 spreads on the board. One win, one loses.
I think the most likely upsets tonight are the Timberwolves to beat the Jazz or the Bulls to beat the Bucks. So
that first game was a week ago. The Bulls played the Bucks hard. I rode the Bulls first quarter and first half, plus 2-1 and 250.
Mm-hmm.
So, if you look historically, the Bulls usually playing pretty tough.
Yeah, and they have a decent riddle tonight. So
yeah, the only thing about this Jazz game is I saw that on the 43rd day they can fall to 4-3.
Exactly.
On the road. And also the 14th prime. And when you write out, I think it's Utah.
Utah's 14. Right. Mm-hmm.
So that's the thing that's got me.
Mm-hmm.
What I'm looking at though is the T-Wolves season hasn't been about Towns. It's been about Wiggins.
Right.
Wiggins missed the last 2 games and they've lost. So I want to see if he's going to play today.
Yeah, let's see if he's in. But yeah, that is the reason for Minnesota to possibly fall to 4-3. The day leaving 43 days left in the year, plus it's the 14th prime, and Utah's 14. If Jazz win, they also get that 9th win, and they become 9-4, and the name of their stadium equals 94. Vivint Smart Home Arena is 94. So.
And there's another thing that lines up for Minnesota, besides the 5-2, and that's the Jazz's conference record. If they lose, is 55.
Yep.
Minneapolis is 55.
Yep, got that. Yeah, if they lose, Timberwolves is 55 and 64. That's the trick. But if the Jazz lost, they would be 5-5 in the conference. So.
I don't remember if there's anything within the record. That's something I don't remember. That's tough. I looked at this game, and when I found out the 43 and the 14, I was like, ooh, that sucks.
Yeah. That's why the 52, it is good for Minnesota, but sometimes it fails, and when it does, there's a reason. So if they did get to 5-2, their next away game is the Hawks, and Hawks is 62. So if they won this one, they'd probably get the Hawks as well. But
that 52 is hit 2 out of 2, I believe, so far for the T-Wolves.
There was one game. There was a game we looked at earlier where if they won the game, it would set them up for another 5-2 riddle. That didn't happen. I wouldn't exactly count that against them, but it just eliminated the possibility of getting the 5-2. If Minnesota lost, Atlanta Hawks is also 193, the 44th prime, so they could potentially become 4-4 at the Hawks as well. So
interesting.
Yeah, but with the 5-2 there, that's Minnesota's number. I mean, it comes through a lot, so they definitely have a prayer.
They do. They definitely do.
Yeah.
I think that haven't the T-Wolves won the last 3 games against them? Or am I off about that?
Let me see. So Jazz have won last 3 is what I wrote. Jazz have won last 3 at home.
Okay.
Unless I got dyslexic. I'll double check to make sure that that's right.
No, you're probably right. Because I know someone won 3, so you're probably right.
I'm just going to double check. Because sometimes I do get dyslexic, but I'm pretty sure the Jazz won the 3.
You know that that Boston game, I didn't know about the Celtics and equal 57 because the Kings record, non-conference, made sense for them to win that game as well.
Yeah, I thought it was going to be the NBA Finals riddle, so that's why I liked it so much. And plus, I mean, Walton could have got his 156th loss, and Boston Celtics is 156, so just all those things lined up.
Yeah, no, that's true. You know what's funny about that in-game? The Celtics were up by 5 with 3 minutes and 30 seconds left on that clock.
Mm-hmm.
And they were minus 800, and the Kings were plus 575. I thought to myself, damn, there's a lot of time left in this game.
Right.
It was Kings ball.
Yeah.
And sometimes also, I always say that line matters, and it seems so perfect for the Celtics to win the game, the riddle. But we've seen it so many times when it's like that one little riddle, and maybe that line's telling you if that, because in reality the Celtics should have been favored 7 or 8 with as many riddles, because usually it really does correspond. But that line said that one little riddle has a real good shot at winning.
Yeah, it's true. The line before, I forget who the Celtics played before that, but I think the line was kind of funny for that game too, and they still won. So.
Oh yeah, it was 10, then it dropped down to 7 against the Warriors. So for me, that signaled that they're going to win, but they're not going to cover the spread. And they won by 4 or something like that?
I forget.
Yeah.
So. Yeah.
All right.
Appreciate it, man. All right,
bud.
All right, see you. Okay, so here, let's just go over the NBA again one more time real quick. So Cavs and Knicks, I was really looking for the 9s today, but man, maybe they're not going to be as strong as I thought. So the 9 can play either way in this game. The Cavs can get the 9th loss of the season, or the Knicks can get the 9th loss in the conference. And we just verified that the Knicks are 67-38 at home against the Cavs. If they did, God, you got the 68 date numerology though as well, man. Yeah, and I think New York Knicks equals 68 as well. Let me double check real quick. I'm pretty sure that's true. Or no, it's not. I'm wrong about that. It's not 68. Knicks is 67, New York's 39. Okay, so anyway, if the Knicks did lose, they'd be 67-39 at home. Knicks 67, New York 39. So that would, you see what that would be. Again, if the Knicks lost, it would be their 12th straight loss at home to the Cavs. New York 78, Cleveland 78. Remember that riddle earlier this year on Monday Night Football? Baker Mayfield becoming 7-8 as a starter in New York on Monday Night Football. And 78's the 12th triangular number. If the Knicks lost, it would be their 12th straight loss at home, plus MSG equals 12. So that's quite a riddle. Knicks would stay on 111 wins. Cleveland Cavaliers 111, New York 111. If the Knicks did win, they'd get that 68th win at home on the 68-date numerology. If Knicks lose, they're 1-9 in the conference. Knicks is 67, the 19th prime. Again, the 23-date numerology, the 9th prime. If the Cavs lose, they're 4-8 in the conference. Cleveland's 48, New York's 48. If the Cavs win, they're 3-4 away, and they play the Heat next, and Heat's 34. And again, we are seeing a lot of teams go in with the home or away record that syncs up with the next opponent for home or away. So that is one encouraging sign for the Cavs, that it would sync up with their next opponent if they won. And Fizdale's next win with the Knicks is 21. They play the 76ers and Spurs after this, both teams with 21 connections. If they don't win tonight, maybe they upset one of those two teams. And again, Knicks equals 41. You got the 41 date numerology. If they won, they'd be 4-10. So tight game, but probably the strongest riddle is the 12th thing. Caller?
Exactly. So yeah, there's a narrative for the Cavaliers and the Knicks. So the Cavaliers coming from thumping 19-point loss from the 76er on Saturday, and there's going to be two main players out for the Cavaliers. It's going to be Kevin Love and Larry Nance. And Lance did not play on Saturday, and look what happened to the Cavaliers. And this is kind of like a revenge game for the Knicks. The Cavaliers put a whipping on them, 108-87 at the Garden this season. 11 a few days ago, 11/10, the 10th of the. So they're coming back. So but with the Knicks, I don't know. The Knicks, they had they lost on a 3-point attempt the last game they played, and quote unquote some questionable calls by the coach. So, and they had a big lead going on to the game into the ending until everything collapsed.
Right.
But that's all I got.
All right, appreciate it, Izzy. Thanks, man.
All right, bye.
Yeah. It's a tight game. It's a dangerous game. So the 12th straight loss is the most interesting narrative. It ended at 11. New York is the 11th state is another thought. But tight. Pacers and Nets, again, both teams are injured. Kyrie's not playing tonight. On the surface level stuff, it looks better for the Pacers tonight. The Nets, again, can fall to 2-3 in the conference. Nets is 23. They can fall to 5-8 on the season. Nets is 58. They'd fall to 3-3 at home. Indiana's 137, the 33rd prime. New York's 33. And if the Pacers win, they become 3-4 away. They play the 76ers next. 76ers is 34. And Indiana's also 34. And the biggest concern is the Pacers' next loss in this series is the 74th. Brooklyn, New York, 74. They could pick it up in Brooklyn, New York. So let me see. Also, it's the 181st game, which is the 42nd prime. The only thing that looks like 42 is if the Nets won, they'd be 4-2 at home. So most of the surface level stuff, which is usually right where it is, though, looks better for the Pacers tonight. Caller? Caller? Hello? Maybe pocket dial. Okay, Hornets and Raptors. Raptors can get that 9th win tonight. Again, 23 date numerology, the 9th prime. 9 games going tonight in the NBA. And if the Raptors don't lose, they stay on 18 losses at home on the 18th. Charlotte can fall to 6-8 on the 68 date numerology. So I suspect the Raptors handle their business there in that game. I was trying to think about. I guess one thing that could go against the Raptors is falling to 4-1 at home on the 41 date numerology. That'd be the upset. But again, I'm suspecting that some more of these 9s come through than not. So okay. Caller?
Yeah, what's up, Zach? I don't mean to interrupt your defo, but I made a little observation yesterday about Tua and how, like, I think it's like they're synced up with the Patriots because he got injured this weekend, the same weekend that Nick Foles returned.
Right.
And the Alabama won the championship the same year the Eagles beat the Patriots. If I'm correct, if I'm not mistaken, the same year that Alabama won against Georgia is the same year the Eagles beat the Patriots.
Right.
And both teams improved to 9-1. Alabama went 9-1, and the Patriots went 9-1.
Right.
In the same week, and how Tua wears the number 13 as well. So, and that's the 91 is the 13th Fibonacci number. So that's interesting.
Right. Crimson equals 91, and they emphasize screaming in pain for the headline about him, which equals 91 as well. So.
Yes, and then also Nick Saban's in his 13th season, if I'm not mistaken.
Alabama's 13, right?
Yeah, and what else? Oh, and then also it's funny how the Patriots are playing the Eagles, and Eagles in reverse full reduction sums to 32, and Tua was born on 3/2.
Okay.
Yeah, so I just found some interesting numbers in that. I don't know. You might want to take a look at that. It's some pretty interesting stuff. So.
All right, man. Appreciate it.
All right.
All right.
Thanks.
See you. Well, it fits in with my thought about the start of the season that this wasn't going to be Alabama's year, that we've seen enough of Alabama. So, anyway, the Rockets look good tonight to me. Again, Houston Rockets equals 59 in the most pure cipher. It does also equal 68 because that's an S, but I'm looking more at that 59. Blazers fall to 5-9. Again, you got the strong 9 connection today. And the Rockets get to 6-1 at home. Blazers is 61. Mavericks is 61. Their next home game is against the Mavericks, the Rockets. The game's on NBA TV, which equals 59. And yeah, so I like the Rockets here. The one riddle for the Blazers is 68, but I think the 59 takes the cake tonight. Caller?
Hey, how you doing, Zach? The caller that spoke about the Knicks and the Cavaliers game.
Uh-huh.
The Cavaliers actually played the Sixers yesterday, not Saturday.
Okay, that was yesterday's game. Okay.
Yeah, so he did say that Kevin Love is not playing tonight.
Right.
So that makes the Cavs on the back-to-back on the road. I think it's safe to go with the Knicks tonight.
Yeah, I hear your logic on that. I still think the game's a little bit dangerous, but yeah, stick to your guns, man. So. All
right. It definitely is dangerous.
Yeah, I call that one dangerous. All right, man. Appreciate it.
All right, you're welcome. Have a good one.
Yeah, take care. Okay. Yeah, it was last night's game. Cavs at home. Cavs fell to 4-8 in Cleveland. Cleveland 48. It was tricky though because they could have become 3-3 at home as well. Cleveland's 33. So. Just look at yesterday's games real quick. Okay. So anyway, I like the Rockets here tonight. Again, their record sets up their next opponent. That's been a great indicator. The 9 plays. Bucks and Bulls, I think there's a chance at an upset here. Both teams could stay on 9. Bucks stay on 9 wins. Bulls stay on 9 losses. And if the Bucks lose, they're 5-3 in the conference. Milwaukee's 53. But again, my concern with that is if they do win, they're 6-2, and they play the Hawks next in the conference, and Hawks is 62. So their conference record would sync up with their next opponent if they won. And the Bulls would be 3-4 at home with a win is something I like because Bucks is 34. So personally, the way I would play the Bulls is I'd take them with that points cushion in case they lose in a close game. But if you're trying to get that big parlay multiplier, again, you don't have to bet a lot to get a big multiplying effect from the Bulls winning if you want to take them on the money line on a smaller bet. But not a one-way street either. I think the Bulls, though, they got one of the better narratives as an underdog tonight. And Spurs and Mavericks, I'd say this one's dangerous too. I'm going to be mad if every 9 plays tonight, because that was my initial thought before I even started looking at games. I was like, I bet the 9's going to be huge. 9 games, 23 date numerology, 9th prime. Anyway, Spurs could pick up that 9th loss, but what I don't like about this game is it's a 68 date numerology. If they win, they become 6-8, the Spurs, and they stay on 68 losses versus the Mavericks. So I don't like how both those 68s are there. Plus, they can get the 113th win in Dallas. Dallas is 1-1-3. And the Mavericks' home record, they have 41 wins at home. 41 date numerology. Dallas is 41. So that's tough. Then again, the Spurs lose tonight. Sets them up perfectly to lose their next game in the conference versus Los Angeles and possibly the one after that against Minnesota. So, and if the Mavs win tonight, they're 4-2 in the conference, and Spurs is 42. So that would be perfect with the conference. Well, actually, as I say that though, I was sleeping on something. Spurs is 33 and 42, so I take it back. The Mavs conference record can make sense with a win or a loss. My fault. Should have had that earlier. If the Mavs won, they'd be 3-0 in the division. Dallas is 1-1-3, the 30th prime. Oh, but I'm tripping there too. Spurs is 21. If they lost, they'd be 2-1 in the division after losing to the Spurs. Again, if the Mavs win tonight, it sets them up to beat the Warriors in the next game as well, becoming 9-5 for the season. Warriors 95. So if the Mavs win, they're 4-3 at home on the day, leaving 43 days left in the year. If Spurs lose, they're 1-5 away. Texas is 15, 2 Texas teams. So, yeah, I think this game's dangerous as well. Be careful with that one right there. Yeah, so there's 2 nice riddles on both sides, so that's dangerous. Celtics and Suns. If only the Celtics would have won yesterday. Make it easy to call this game. Anyway, just looking at the immediate game with the conference records, if the Suns lose, they're 3-2 versus the East. Boston's 32. And if the Celtics win, they're 4-1 versus the West, and they play LA next. LA 41. So that could be the most important narrative. If the Suns lost, they would be 7-5. They play the Kings next. Kings is 75. They'd face the Kings 7-5. And they become 5-4 at home, the Suns, and they host New Orleans next. New Orleans is 54. So all of that's there. It's just the one other thing to consider in this game is if the Celtics lose, they're 5-3 away, and they play Los Angeles next, which equals 53. So it looks a little bit better for the Celtics, but again, the other thing we said is that if the Suns did win tonight and then they beat the Wizards next, that's their next Eastern Conference opponent, who they should beat, that would set them up to go into Charlotte 5-1. So might be looking too far down the road there. Looking at tonight, it looks like trouble because they can become 3-2 versus the East. Boston 32. You might recall earlier this year, March 2nd, an former NBA player was killed in Boston on March 2nd. So that's just where the playoffs got started. And somebody did call and point out that if the Celtics lost, they'd be 10-3. We've seen a lot of that number in the NFL this year. They'd also be 5-3, like Patriots is 53. So I'm just not sure what the symbolism is doing that against the Arizona team. But yeah, that one's a little tight. Timberwolves are a team that have a shot at an upset tonight, and it's because they can become 5-2 away. We know Minnesota in 52 plays hard, but if there was a day for it to fail, today would make sense. Today leaves 43 days left in the year. They'd fall to 4-3. 43 is the 14th prime. Utah's 14. Then again, Utah loses their 6-1 at home on the 18th. 61 the 18th prime. So if the Jazz won today, they'd stay on 41 losses in the series on the 41 date numerology. If the Jazz lost, they'd be 5-5 in the conference. Timberwolves is 55 in the most pure cipher, but it's got an S, so it's also 64. If the Jazz win tonight, they get that 9th win. 9 could be the number today. Again, 23 date numerology, 9th prime, 9 games in the NBA tonight. Jazz win, they get the 9th win, and they improve to 9-4. The name of their stadium's 94. So, but there's Minnesota with the 52 riddle. We know how good those are for us, Just hit it the other day with Houston becoming 5-2 away in Minnesota. If the Wolves do win, they're 5-2 away. Their next away game's the Hawks, which is 62. So not out of the question that they win tonight, and then face up against the Hawks, beat them as well. So there is an upset narrative here. It's all about the 52, but the Jazz have some decent riddles themselves, so definitely not a one-way street. Caller?
Yeah, Zach, I just think this game is synced up with Brady because they lost yesterday, and it was a total of 199 points in that game. So I just find that funny.
That's 199. Yeah, I got you. 199, 46 prime. Brady 199th pick. Tom Brady 46. So
right.
So are you saying then you think the Celtics are going to lose to get the Patriots tribute?
Right.
Okay, I hear that.
And that 27, I just looking at that 27, and we all sleeping on the Patriots winning this year. So I'm just trying to put something together.
Yeah, I was talking about that yesterday because the NBA games yesterday were Philadelphia versus the Cavs, and then Boston versus the Kings, and there's like a clear LeBron riddle there because it's his old team, and then the team he played his first game against, the Kings. He's King James, and
right.
So, and there was just an article written this weekend about how Tom Brady and LeBron James have the same retirement plan. So. And
Brady is 42 this year. The number stands.
That's exactly how the article starts with about their retirement plan, and LeBron James equals 42. So okay. I'll put it up on the screen.
Okay.
So it's right here.
4 times 2 is 8. 2019. So.
What are you saying with the 8?
Say that again.
What do you mean with the 8?
Oh, no, just the 42, 4 times 2 is 8, 2019, the 8th prime. Majority of this season is in, 2019 for the, football. So. Yeah. I'm just trying to think what the symbolism is, though, against doing it against the Suns. What do you see? I have no idea. I just saw them numbers, and I'm like, well, and then when you were going back over, because the dude pointed out that they played yesterday, not Saturday, I saw that it was 199 total point score. I was like, well, damn, that would be a perfect sync within the next 2 games, especially because, like you said, we thought they were going to get that 61 or become 6-1 against the Kings. So,
right. Yeah,
the LeBron, like you said, they're comparing LeBron and Brady, and then you got, LeBron does it against the Kings, but Boston did it, but the numbers actually tribute to Brady. It's just weird, man. That's all.
Oh, and you know what? It was the day of the Super Bowl 52 rematch, and the Celtics fell to 5-2 away.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I'm starting to. Yeah, I think they're gonna lose.
Okay.
For sure.
All right. I hear it. All right. Thanks, man.
Yep. Yeah,
that would have to be the narrative for the Celtics to lose. Syncing up with the NFL is very possible. It has been a year of 103, but I'm still thinking that game's a bit dangerous, man, for all the reasons stated. If the Celtics won tonight, I believe they play do they play the Lakers or Clippers next? It's the Clippers, never mind. It's still LA, but Lakers have the 42 connection. Okay. So Timberwolves and Jazz game, we talked about how this could be an upset, but Jazz got some riddles too. Clippers over the Thunder, I don't think this game's going to be an upset. I think Clippers got this. Again, they'll get to 8-1 at home. Los Angeles Clippers is 81. And if the Thunder lose, they're 5-8. They play the Lakers tomorrow. Los Angeles Lakers 58. Or if not tomorrow, in 2 days. Their next game's against the Lakers, though. The only thing I see there for the Thunder is if they won, they'd be 1-4 away, and LA does have that 14 connection, but I don't think so. Caller?
Zach, I sent you a text a few days ago. It was a Larry Johnson tweet, and it's a video of Tom Brady, and I think he's with his daughter. And the tweet goes, just foreshadowing.
Yeah.
Yeah, you saw that, huh?
Yeah, I saw that story, and we covered it earlier this year when the cliff diving story came out with the daughter because they made Tom Brady look like he was a bad dad.
Yeah, taking a dive off the cliff.
Right.
I'm telling you, I think it's the bait. Got 3 baits: KC, Baltimore, New England.
Well, I'm not sure that Baltimore's the bait. So.
We got the battle of 1812, right? That's on the board.
Right. The War of 1812 ended with the Battle of New Orleans. So.
True.
Yeah.
That Popeye stabbing, I'm reading it as Baltimore to death. They don't make it to Miami.
Okay. I know you like the Colts, so.
I do. I'm watching them. I absolutely am. I'm waiting for T.Y. Hilton and Mr. Devin Funches with the Carolina Panthers. Panthers 115 connection, World Series.
Right.
Seeing where it goes.
I hear your logic with the Colts because Vegas did something they've never done before. They gave people the option to get their money back for everyone who placed a future on the Colts. So that is funny.
They don't do that. Like, that's just ridiculous.
That would be the ultimate mockery. So yeah.
Absolutely. I'm telling you, and everyone who's listening, I'm not a prophet or anything, but the first round is going to tell you who's going to the Super Bowl. Just look at the playoff records. That's all you got to do. That's my opinion.
Yeah. All right, man.
We'll see what's up. All right, bro.
All right, appreciate it. Okay, but anyway, let me double check one more thing here. I think Clippers look pretty good, who are big old favorites, but I like them getting to 8-1 at home. And here, I'll just put it on the screen. Los Angeles Clippers, most pure cipher, 81. So, all right. So games that look safer tonight. Clippers look good. Let's just go through this and try to rank these games. The Rockets look good. The Raptors look good. The Pacers got a better riddle. That's for sure. I worry a little bit about them picking up that 74th loss. It doesn't have to come today. And you know what? Even Indianapolis, IN 74, so they could even pick it up in their own building. Again, Nets lose. They're 2-3 in the conference and 5-8 overall. Nets is 23-58, and if the Pacers win, they're 3-4 away, which sinks them up with their next opponent plus their own name. 76ers is 34, who they play at next, and Indiana's 34. So Pacers for a road team look decent tonight. So I think that's the best. I think those are the safest games in the NBA. And then some of these upsets. So, okay. Yeah, I think the 4 most likely games to come through from what we're looking at are Clippers, Rockets, Raptors, Pacers. I think those are the 4 most likely to hit. And then for upsets, Bulls to me have quite a few things that could go in their favor today. Biggest concern is the Bucks winning to set them up to go 6-2 in the conference versus the Hawks in the next game. Bucks win this game, yeah, they should roll over the Hawks. But the Bulls could still play them tough, so that's why you take the Bulls to cover. I think they got a good shot there. And yeah, I don't think I can mess with some of these closer games. Could be right about the Patriots-Celtics thing. Could be the right read, but there's still some things there that scare me. Again, the Suns falling to 3-2 versus the East by losing to Boston. That worries me. And also Boston going into LA 4-1 versus the West by winning tonight. So, yes. And then the T-Wolves and Jazz. Again, if I'm taking a shot at another upset tonight or using parlay multiplier, I'd use the Timberwolves just because they got a chance at that 5-2. But Minnesota in 52, they are really good for us. I mean, we demonstrate it all the time, but they don't come through every time. And when they don't, again, it's because there's a good riddle on the board to go against it. And tonight there's a decent riddle to go against this. So if you want to play the Timberwolves to cover, obviously that's the safer way. If you're trying to get that big parlay effect, though, you got to do it on the money line. So, okay, so I think we covered basketball to death. Again, the knowledge, it takes us places, but as well as we know it can only take us so far in some reads because, again, it's still some things I have trouble deciphering, like, okay, well, we see both these riddles, but which one is which? So, I think there's 4 decent games in basketball, 2 potential upsets that, well, obviously there's more than that, but 2 that look like we might have the right read on it, so. Okay, in hockey, there's only 2 games, but yesterday there was just 2 games, and I still like the Blackhawks yesterday. They had a good riddle. I think one of these games has a riddle that will most likely come through. Usually there's one upset on nights where there's 2 games. Okay, let's go back and look at yesterday, actually, real quick. Let's see. There's not typically just 2 games in the NHL on a Sunday. I thought that was weird yesterday. I was like, why is there just 2 games on Sunday? But the Blackhawks looked great yesterday, and they got it done. I think both favorites won yesterday. Caller?
Just gonna say 2 more things before I go meet up with Rod over here. Number 1, it's rare they give you both New York teams win on the same day. I think I've said that many times. Being from New York, I really don't give a fuck who wins, but I'm just saying, it's very, very rare they do that. That's the first thing. The second thing is, I think today's the perfect day if you have the capability to bet in-game.
Write it down, dude.
Second half.
Second
half, yep.
Second half of what game?
Yep, because if the Dogs are losing in the first half, if it's close or they're even winning, everyone's probably going to be on the favorite. And there are certain numbers at halftime to look out for, and it more than likely signals who's going to win. I'm telling you, this is a really good day for it because we got a few upsets that can happen. So instead of getting burned, just if you have the capability, just be a little smart and just wait. Patience.
So you're saying look for Dogs to trail at the half and then take them to outscore in the second half?
Yeah, okay, I'll give you a prime example. So, a few days ago, when the Sixers played the Cavs, it wasn't this last game, the game before. And the Sixers, I think, were up, I want to say 4 at half, something like that. But the line said the Cavs are to play for the second half. They only lost by 2, but you won the second half, and you won the money line. I got 2-1.
Sure.
So, again, this is the part of balancing the amazing research with Gematria and understanding the other balance of lines.
Right.
So I think it's a key component,
Sure.
But I'm just offering whatever experience that I have, and I don't always win, but just trying,
I hear you, man. Well, yeah,
So,
great thought. Appreciate it.
All right, Zach, you got it.
All right, take care, Chris.
Later.
All right, see you, man. Okay, so this Capitals game, they are huge favorites tonight. There's usually one upset in hockey, and lines like this get upset all the time. If the Ducks lost this game, they'd be 4-6 away. Anaheim Ducks equals 46 in the most pure cipher, but there is an S, so 55 is also there. The Capitals have a chance to pick up their 38th points against the Ducks in the 38th meeting of the 2 teams. We've seen a number of teams do that this year. DC's also on the 38th parallel. If the Capitals won, they'd be 16-3-4, bet like 163, the 38th prime. Caller?
Hey, just a quick question, Zach. So we do the Ravens and Texans decode, right? And it's Gematria going everywhere, right? And then the game plays, and the Ravens beat the shit out of the Texans.
Well, what did I say in the live stream? That's why I said that's why I kept neutral on that game, even though it seemed like the Texans had a shot. Because I said the Ravens are just rolling over teams, and Baltimore equals 41. They had a chance to be 4-1 at home. They win with 41 points. So
right. And you know what? When I called you about that on Saturday, I didn't have my notes with me. I did notice that John W. Harbaugh, John H. Harbaugh, whatever his full name is, equals 64 in full reduction as well, and the Texans fell to 6-4. So,
okay, yeah.
Yeah, I just wonder if some of these games, if the numbers we're looking at, if 4 of them are in the full reduction cipher, maybe that's a clue that it might be overpowering.
Sure. Well, honestly, man, had I not known about the stadium, like if we didn't look at the stadiums this week, I would have been all over Baltimore because I saw Harbaugh
didn't do great this week.
Right, that's what I mean. So it's funny how the first week you looked at it, it was there. I was like, that's why you better watch it some more, just in case. It was right.
They're listening, man.
Yeah.
Zach.
What's that?
I said they're listening. I know they're listening.
Well, it's interesting how things work out, but Anyway, I'm not surprised that Baltimore won that game though, just because they had a chance to be 4-1 at home, huge number with Baltimore, and then they win with 41 points, and then Harbaugh did get his 112th win, and I know that number is big with Houston, so.
Right. And I wouldn't have been surprised if they won too. It was just like, damn, they slapped the shit out of them. It's just like, why is Denver beating the crap out of Minnesota just to make it some miracle comeback? Like, you know what I mean? It's just, that's the part that he did me. Like, why are some games blowouts and the other ones are close? So.
It's all mind games for the gamblers, so. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
All right, Zach.
All right, appreciate it, man.
Yep.
Yeah, that's why I didn't want to mess with that's why if you read the pick, it says neutral at the beginning, but I did say that last stream. Ravens have just been rolling over teams, so I'm not surprised they smashed them. Okay. Anyway, the narrative does look better here for the Capitals, but I still would not mess with this game. They don't pay anything, and there's a lot of upsets in hockey especially the days where there's just 2 games. So one of these games is likely to be an upset. In light of there being 41 date numerology, the 13th prime, Ducks could get their 13th loss in regulation today in the series. Caller?
Sorry, Zach, but to hit upon what that caller just said about the Texans, so right before I spoke with Rod over the phone, I said, wait a minute, we didn't look ahead to the next game for the Ravens. So they're playing the Rams. And if you look at the stadium...
Well, we definitely looked ahead to that, man. We definitely looked ahead to that.
Oh, my bad then. Because for me, it was the 112. Baltimore picks up 112. They walk into the Rams stadium at 112 because of Harbaugh's record. And then they're going to lose. 83 is an overlapping number with the Ravens and the Rams. And if you look at the line, it's only -3.
Well, that's what I was saying. I expect that the Ravens might very well split these 2 games to get to the 8-3, like you said. The name of that stadium where LA plays equals 112 as well.
Exactly. That was the whole, again, knowing Gematria, the key component right there.
Yeah.
It only made sense for them to pick up 112, walk into LA, and then you got the overlapping number to 83. Bam, right there.
Everything looked good for Baltimore except for the stadium, because we just looked at the stadiums the week before, and they were hot the week before. The first week we look at it, I don't know if it was beginner's luck or what, but just the one concern was if the Ravens lost, they were going to become 5-1 versus the Texans at home and get their 51st loss in the stadium, and Houston Texans is 51. So.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. That 83 and the 112 sold me, man. That because I remember, every time there's an overlapping number, it really looks good, and it's the only thing that made sense.
Yeah, I hear that.
Anyway, all right, man. Time to go.
All right, so, okay, so anyway, I'd skip this Ducks-Capitals game. There's not much value here. Ducks could upset them just because that's the way 2 game days are. But if the Capitals did lose, the riddle for them to lose would have to be falling to 5-6 at home in Washington, D.C. Washington, D.C.'s 56, staying on 13 points on the 41 date numerology, plus Ducks equals 13. So if you wanted to do a dollar parlay and throw the Ducks in as a big parlay multiplier, they definitely would be. They're big underdogs tonight, and it's not out of the question. I think the game that's more likely to come through, who's a favorite, is the Coyotes. Because, again, you have this 41 date numerology, the 13th prime. Notice the Coyotes can get the 13th win. The Kings can get the 13th loss of the season. Regulation losses plus overtime losses. They're on 12 right now. It'll be 13 tonight. 13th win, 13th loss. Arizona will get their 28th points. LA Kings 28. And let me see. The only thing I saw for the Kings was becoming 3-7-1 away because Los Angeles is 37, but they can just easily fall to 2-8-1. LA Kings 28. And I saw the Coyotes could get their 12 points at home tonight as well. Los Angeles 37, the 12th prime. They face the Maple Leafs next at home. Maple Leafs is 54, so if they lost in overtime, they'd be 5-4. But ultimately, I just like the way the 13s line up on both sides on this 41 date numerology. And if the 13s play across the league, that's where the Ducks could upset the Capitals, keeping the Capitals on 13 points at home. So that's hockey. And then let's see here. NFL football tonight, Monday Night Football. Again, everybody should have had a really great day yesterday, and I think if you had a great day, it's a good day to chill, not be greedy. But here's what we're looking at. Again, the primetime games seem to be all interconnected with the week before. Last night I wrote that if the Rams won, home teams would be 6-5. California equals 65. San Francisco 49ers equals 65. And the San Francisco 49ers host, looks like I spelled San Francisco wrong here, but San Francisco, it looks like I wrote 49ers wrong too. But San Francisco 49ers, oh, did I forget to write San Francisco 49ers equals 65? Oh, no, I have it up here. So anyway, it made sense if the Rams won going into who hosts the next Sunday night football game. And it's also yesterday, home teams were 6-6 yesterday, 66 the 11th triangular number. It's week 11. So if the home team loses tonight, who's the Chargers, and they're not really playing on their home field, but if the Chargers lost tonight, home teams would be 6-6 on Monday Night Football for the season. 66, the 11th triangular number in Jewish Gematria, NFL 66. Again, the first Super Bowl season was the 66-67 season. So I'm thinking that is probably the best riddle. Now, if you look at this, there are some things for the Chargers tonight, so I wouldn't call it a one-way street. But it's just like how there were some things for the Bears last night, but the Sunday Night Football record and the day count record, it looked better for the Rams last night. Also, we pointed out how the Rams could pick up the 83rd home win of the season last night. Los Angeles Rams 83. They nearly put it away with a touchdown by number 83, but then they threw out the flag. But then the Rams went on to score anyway. So, okay, let's just go over everything tonight, but I'm thinking the top riddle is probably home teams becoming 6-6 on Monday Night Football, which would be, that would happen with the Chargers loss tonight. So, Chiefs are 4-1 away. Chargers are 2-3 at home, and that's probably one of the best riddles for the Chargers to improve to 3-3 at home on Monday Night Football. MNF's 33, Mexico's 33. It is week 11, the 5th prime number. The Chiefs could get their 5th loss. The Chargers could get their 5th win. All the date numerology today breaks down to 5 as well. 68 numerology, 6 plus 8 is 14. 14 is 1 plus 4 is 5. 41 is 4 plus 1 is 5. 23 is 2 plus 3 is 5. So you have all these 5 connections. In light of today being the 322nd day of the year, the big skull and bones number, and something crazy could happen in this game. Remember what happened last year on the 322nd day of the year? That's where J.J. Watt, born on March 22nd, 322, was on top of Alex Jones. Or not, what's his name? Alex Jones? That's not his name. Alex Smith. Alex Smith, who's a leg snap. But in light of the 322, I was looking for something skull and bones related today, and where it is with Andy Reid. Andy Reid, where's he at? I went past him. Andy Reid can get his 202nd win in the regular season. And skull and bones equals 202. And the 202nd minute of the day is when it's 3:22 a.m. Verify. Yeah, his next win is 202. So, again, you just got to wonder. You couldn't get a more perfect day to get your 202nd win than the 322nd day of the year. And again, 3:22 in the morning is the 202nd minute of the day. Okay. So, let's see. Chiefs are 61-55-1 versus the Chargers in the regular season. They're 26-31-1 at the Chargers. 26-32-1 counting the postseason. Caller?
What up, Zach?
What's up,
it's
man?
Ron. How you doing, bud?
Doing well. How are you?
Doing well, thank you. Well, but since we're talking about Andy Reid, I did notice that the game's going to be played at Estadio Azteca. That equals 129. Andy Reid can pick up his 129th career loss if he loses, and also with the quarterback Patrick Mahomes, he can stay on 18 career wins on the 18th of the month, becoming 18-8 for his career. The Los Angeles Chargers equals 188.
Yeah, I got that one written up here too. I did see that. He could also get his 11th away wins to conclude Week 11. So.
Yeah, this is a tight one, but I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, I hear you, man. All right, appreciate it.
Appreciate it.
Those 11s for quarterbacks have been good this week. It was just like, the Brissett versus Foles. The 11s were with Brissett, and they were against Foles, and Brissett got it done. But the name of that stadium in Spanish, Estadio Azteca, is Aztec Stadium, which equals 74 as well in English. Chiefs can get to 7-4 in that stadium. So the English pronunciation, is it favorable for the Chiefs? Let me see. Estadio Azteca is 129. Yeah, he's right about that. There's that 78. 78 keeps showing up on Monday Night Football this year. And okay, hold on. Rivers is on 68 home wins and 41 home losses in the regular season, which is tough because that's the date numerology. Facing the team from Missouri, which equals 42 and 123, could get that 42nd home loss or his 123rd regular season win. If Rivers did win tonight, he'd get his 15th win versus the Chiefs. MNF is 15, and Rivers is 8-6 at home versus the Chiefs. If he lost, he'd be 8-7. Mexico City, Mexico's 87. So it's a little bit conflicted. Anthony Lynn, he could get his 18th regular season loss on the 18th. He could also get his 18th all-time loss with the Chargers. Chargers coach, that is. The Chiefs are 3-1 with this ref. It's tricky because LA's 41, but Kansas City's 32. The Chargers are 2-1 with this ref. If they lost, they'd be 2-2. Chargers 79, the 22nd prime. Let me plug this in here, though. Estadio Azteca equals 129. If I have to choose between that 129 and the 202, though, the 202 goes with Skull and Bones, and we know that they have a lot of influence in sports. And again, it is the 322nd day of the year. You only get this shot one time, so. Even though that Los Angeles Chargers equals 188 and Mahomes could become 18-8, if you pay attention, when these riddles come up, they look great, but they fail as much as they don't come through, which is really interesting when you read the record across like that. So, I know there was one earlier this year. Well, there's been more than one, but I know the last one that came up didn't come through. I'm trying to remember what game that was. So. And the fact that Mahomes can get those 11th away wins in Week 11, those have been great with the quarterback so far. Pretty much everybody's hit the... I think the only guy who missed the 11 riddle, and it was going against him, was Drew Brees. And again, Brees had enough going for him that it was okay to flinch at that. So, if the Chargers did win, they'd be 23-23 on Monday Night Football on the 23-date numerology. If Kansas City won, they'd be 4-1 versus the Chargers on Monday Night Football. LA's 41. If they lost, though, they'd be 3-2. Kansas City 32. Kansas City is 5-4 versus the Chargers on prime time. It is Week 11, the 5th prime. If they lost, they'd be 5-5. Kansas City Chiefs, though, is 64. So, again, since you have riddles going both ways and you can make an argument, we keep seeing how the weeks are connected. And what stands out to me is if the Chargers lose, they are 6-6. It makes home teams 6-6 to conclude Week 11. 66, the 11th triangular number. And again, on Sunday, home teams were 6-6. So we already saw a 6-6 riddle play for Week 11, and now it can play one more time with the Monday Night Football game if the Chargers lose. And just looking ahead, home teams right now are 83-77-1 for the season. If the Chargers lost tonight, home teams would stay on 83 wins. And the next game in the NFL will be Thursday Night Football, hosted by the Texans, which equal 83. So it just makes me wonder. And if the Texans lost that game, they'd be 83-79 home teams, and Texans is 83-79. So, also the other thing is, I've noticed how Monday Night Football, it seems to do a riddle that pays tribute to the NFL week to come. Like the other week, when Week 9 ended, it was the game with the black cat on the field. Week 9, cat has 9 lives. The score of that game was 55 combined points. Black cat, 55. But 55 is the 10th triangular number, and that was the last game of Week 9 going into Week 10. And we saw plenty of 55 on Thursday Night Football. Home teams became 5-5. On Sunday Night Football, home teams became 5-5. So that's why I'm thinking that 66, the 11th triangular number, is what really matters here. And if the Chargers lost tonight, the way it would pay tribute to next week is if the Chargers lost, home teams would pick up their 78th loss. That's the 12th triangular number. And then we'd be going into Week 12 with home teams on 78 losses. So, definitely not a one-way street. There's plenty there to believe in the Chargers getting this done. Again, things as simple as becoming 3-3 at home on Monday Night Football. Again, both teams picking up the 5s. Chiefs get the 5th loss. Chargers get the 5th win. 11 is the 5th prime. It didn't seem like the 5s, though, were really that big in Week 11. Here, let's just review yesterday's scores real quick. Because there were plenty of games where the 5s could have come through. But it did happen to the Steelers. But again, the Browns had plenty of riddles in this game. So I guess the Steelers were a team that did it. Didn't happen to the Cowboys. You know, the Lions didn't stay on 5 losses. The Cowboys didn't fall to 5-5. Both of these teams could have been 5-5 right here. The Jaguars and Colts didn't happen. Let's see. Panthers did become 5-5. Raiders could have become 5-5. They didn't. Eagles did become 5-5. Again, once we figured out that revenge narrative, it was pretty easy to see that it was the Patriots. I mean, the revenge thing just lined up way too well. So, and then the Bears and Rams game, Chicago Bears 55. That didn't happen here, but the Sunday Night Football riddle did look better for the Rams in the notes we put out last night. So, again, I mean, it did play in some things, but it's not a sure shot, the 55. So, I'm thinking 66, the 11th triangular number. Again, to me, that's the best riddle tonight. But honestly, if I did really well yesterday, I wouldn't want to play today because I would just be happy with my earnings yesterday. And I'd save it up for the next a lot clearer read because I wouldn't call this game a one-way street by any stretch of the imagination. But again, if I had to play it, I do believe I would favor the Chiefs just because that 6-6 home record's going against the Chargers. And ultimately, because Andy Reid can get his 202nd win, and I know that's one of the Skull and Bones numbers on the 322nd day of the year. So, but Color does make a point about Estadio Azteca 129. He can get his 129th loss there, so that is something. Let me double check the international series real quick. Caller?
Hey Zach, since you're speaking about the 11 and 5s, so I just noticed that the Knicks, they could pick up that 11th loss of the season at home, and also their 5th home loss, and their next game is actually on the road against the 76ers, and if the Knicks coach lost, he would have 76 losses going into that game.
But if he won, that means he could pick up his 76th against the 76ers.
I thought about that too. But I don't know. I'm thinking this coach could possibly get fired after this game because right after that game started was when the whole stuff started firing up in New York about getting this guy out of here, David Fizdale.
Right.
So I'm thinking his days are numbers. But I'm saying the 11th loss of the season, I would think that would have to come at home because they're about to start a road trip.
Right.
And then the 5 connection also that you was bringing up with football, I didn't even see it with the basketball earlier, but they can lose their fifth straight in a row. They could also lose the 11th of the season and the 5th home game.
And it would be the 12th straight to the Cavs at Madison Square Garden, so...
Exactly.
Yeah.
And they're leaving. Next place is at the 76ers. And remember, Cleveland played 76ers yesterday or the day before.
Right. Yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right, that was it, though. I just figured the 11 was a big indicator. Because if they won today, I just would think they would have to pick up the 11th loss of the season at home more so than on the road. That's what I'm saying.
I see what you're saying. But, I mean, if they win today, they'll definitely pick up that 76th loss against the 76ers, so...
Yeah, you might not make it, though.
This is true. All right, man. Appreciate it. Okay. Let me see. Make sure there wasn't any other crucial stats. Oh, I was looking up the international series. All right. I wanted to see these teams' records in international series real quick. Caller?
Hey, Zach, what's up? This is Hutch. How you doing, man?
Doing well. How are you?
I'm well. By any chance, you got any time to do any fantasy with the player this evening? You better wrap it up.
I'm supposed to. Yeah, I probably can't do it tonight because I have to go to somewhere for the website that's getting built.
Okay. No worries.
Yeah, because I'm a little bit time constrained tonight. I'd like to do it, but yeah, I'm gonna have to skip it tonight, man. I'm sorry.
No worries. Okay. Thanks a lot.
All right. Yeah. Take care, man. Sorry about that. Caller?
It's like the 5 and 11 have a relationship, correct?
11's the 5th prime.
Okay, so in that Ducks game, they could become 11-11, and then 5 and 5 on the road if they beat the Capitals.
The Ducks can become 11-11. Yeah, I hear what you're saying. Okay.
And then 5 and 5 on the road, and historically the Ducks do pretty well against the Capitals. So that number is pretty big.
Well, if 13's what plays, because between those two games, that's what I'm starting to try to figure out to do with the two. I think that's what it's about on nights where there's two teams. There's a riddle, and you got to identify what it is with those teams. So I saw how the 13 is what lines up in both games, and if the Coyotes won and the Capitals lost, the 13 would play in both games.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah. So
that's what I'm thinking. And then, we've seen this before. I'm not saying it's going to happen, but big dog, 2 games, and then you have a little favorite wins, big dog usually loses.
There's almost always at least one upset on these nights where there's 2 games. So
yes, and especially at -200 or above.
So yeah, I've seen it plenty of times.
Yes, sir. Cats -220 today.
Yeah. Yep.
All right, and then I don't know if we looked into this, but I think also the Capitals have a point streak going on because they've lost, but I think they've lost in overtime.
Huh. Okay.
I don't think it was snapped yet.
Okay. All right. Anything else?
No, that's it, bro.
All right, man. Appreciate it.
All right.
Yeah. It's just I'm trying to think about the NFL right now, so I'm just. Okay. Did this game not happen or something? Was there something with this game that they canceled it and moved it somewhere else? Because I see that this game was scheduled for last year and it wasn't played. So now, almost a year later to the day, What happened in this game? Chiefs, Rams. Wait, they played. I remember they played this game right after the fires, didn't they? And they had Jared Goff out there wearing the fire department helmet. I remember this. So they were going to play in Mexico, but for some reason they didn't. Crazy game. 105 points. Okay. So the Chiefs did lose that game last year, barely. That would have been, and that was also LA. But I don't know if you want to count that as this because they ended up not playing it there. Okay, let me write that. Last year, Chiefs lost to Rams 51-54 in a game that was supposed to be played in Mexico. All right. Game was scheduled for November 19th, 2018. Okay. The Rams were definitely a lot better last year than the Chargers are this year, though. Let's see who that was against. So, here, let's see what these teams' records are in international series real quick. All right, Chiefs beat the Lions. Oh, so they're just 1-0. Okay. Chiefs are 1-0 in international series. Chiefs. All right, let's see what the Chargers are. I'm just thinking if the Chiefs lost, they'd be 1-1, week 11. Chargers 0-1 versus 1-1 versus the Titans. They're 1-1 in international series. Chargers. Los Angeles. 37, 12th prime. Okay. So yeah, definitely not a one-way street. I'd rate this game as fairly dangerous. Plenty of reason to believe in both teams, but again, I'm just going to reiterate what I said one more time. We've seen that there's definitely a pattern between primetime games and it connecting week after week after week. And we've also seen how the home team records can pay tribute to the specific NFL week. So the way that would be done this week is with the Chargers losing, because that would make home team 6-6 on Monday Night Football. Again, the reason there's 12 games played on Monday Night Football is because there was a doubleheader week 1. So 6-6 in week 11. 66, the 11th triangular number. I think that's the most likely outcome. But if you're really feeling the Chargers, I know a couple people have reached out to me today who really like the Chargers. I mean, stick to your guns. So Chargers have a narrative. I mean, I'm not going to be shocked if the Chargers win. I think the home team week-to-week record, since we got riddles going both ways, is what I would make the tiebreaker. But again, if you did really well yesterday, I wouldn't risk today. I'd just say, okay, let's just pack it in. We had a great week. So, and just one more thought, like I said, if the Chargers lose, the home teams will have 78 losses. We've seen 78 show up a whole lot. Here, this just came in from Heavy.com. Let's see what they wrote. But just before I do, I was just going to say, we've seen 78 play a lot this year on Monday Night Football. Scottish, right, equals 78. So home teams could pick up their 78th loss on Monday Night Football this year. Again, just off the top of my head, two really clear 78 riddles were Baker Mayfield becoming 7-8 as a starter, New York 78, Cleveland 78. He did that in New York. And then San Francisco 49ers was 78. I forget what the whole riddle was with the 49ers, but they had a 78 riddle on Monday Night Football. I think that was also the night where they got their 49th win on MNF. And I want to say there was another one, but it's slipping. So 78 could play again right here. All right, let's see what they wrote for their little article since it popped up. The NFL is back in Mexico City. The Los Angeles Chargers and Kansas City Chiefs will play at the retooled Estadio Azteca on Monday night. It will mark the 4th regular season NFL game played in Mexico City. I thought we just saw... Was this game played in Mexico City? I mean... Hold on. Rams, Chiefs, box score 2018. It might be the 4th game scheduled. Why does it not show where the game was played? Alright, I need something else. Does it show me where the game was played? I believe, yeah, this game was played in the Coliseum, so it did not end up getting played there. I forget what the reason was that they canceled the game for Mexico City and moved it back to LA. But it looks like it's the 3rd game that'll be played here, not actually the 4th. Alright, it marked the 4th regular season NFL game played in Mexico City and the 1st since last year's game. Huh. Okay, well, what was the other game? So it was canceled due to the turf last year. Okay. So this year the field's in great condition. Capacity is 84,000. Where did I swear I just saw 84. Is there 84 on the board? Let me just see. Maybe not. Maybe not. I thought I saw 84, but maybe not. Okay, let's see. As for the game itself, it's a huge litmus test for the Chiefs, who entered the game dead even with the Oakland Raiders in the AFC West standings. Kansas City lost a heartbreaking 35-32 decision last week to the Titans and have looked vulnerable at times defensively this season. Meanwhile, the Chargers have been wildly inconsistent, beating difficult opponents outright. Yeah, this is true. Okay. So more money's on the Chiefs. Let's see. Chiefs are 5-5 against the spread. Chargers are 3-5-2 against the spread. All right. Let's see what they write. Patrick Mahomes didn't seem any worse for wear in last week's loss to the Titans. The reigning MVP completed a career-high 36 passes with 446 yards and 3 touchdowns. However, as has been the case many times in the past 2 seasons, it was Kansas City's defense which faltered late. Yeah, thanks to some terrible play calling, all part of the script. The Chiefs are ranked 20th in the NFL, allowing 23.9 points per game, and have given up 89 points in the last 3 games. The Chargers got the better of Kansas City in Week 15 last year, winning the game 29-28. Might want to measure from how long ago that game was. Mahomes had 243 passing yards in that game last year. That's the number that's paired with 54. Take the value here and go with Los Angeles getting more than 4 points. The Chargers have had 10 days off since a 26-24 loss last Thursday in Oakland. They're well rested and hungry for a win. KC still seems a little off balance. So they're filling the Chargers to cover. So yeah, we got some points, but all right. So yeah, not an easy call with tonight's football game. A lot of the primetime games have been really tight this year. Oh, home team, the 84. That's what it was. Home teams could get their 84th win. But let me look at, who do the Texans play next week? I know Texans play Thursday night football. They got the Colts Thursday. So let's just say if the Chargers won, home teams would be 7-5 on Monday Night Football. I just don't see the riddle with that. I don't see how it would connect to the Texans game or anything. And that's the thing too. Next week, one of the teams playing on Monday Night Football is the Colts. Colts got that big 66 connection. So home teams would be 6-6. Texans would be hosting the Colts. But still got to say, dangerous game here tonight, Monday Night Football. So, and again, just the fact that it's the 322nd day of the year. The only I was looking for a Skull and Bones riddle. The only one I see is with Andy Reid getting that 202nd win. Skull and Bones is 202. So, Reid doesn't. Martin gave me the link yesterday, and I forgot what it was. I forgot to bookmark it too. I meant to make it part of this post. Andy Reid record after bye week. He found that somewhere. I want to go back and see what that number was. I can't spell bye right. Why does it sort by stuff that's 2 years old? Is there a way to sort by most recent? Settings, search settings. Really? You can't search by most recent post? Come on. Let me try a different search engine. Andy Reid record after bye week. (2019) Which was several years ago. Well, I know it's really impressive, so that's the other thing too about Andy Reid after a bye week. All right, we got 15 minutes till 4 o'clock. Let's just quickly review everything, and then we can wrap it up. So Cavs and Knicks, I think it's a little bit dangerous. I probably wouldn't mess with this game. You got riddles going both ways. I do think the most interesting riddle is that the Knicks can lose their 12th straight game at home in New York against Cleveland. Again, New York 78, Cleveland 78. That's the 12th triangular number. MSG for Madison Square Garden's 12. So Cavs are missing some of their better players tonight, which is tough. But not sure I'd mess with that one, but I will watch to see if that's the riddle. Pacers and Nets. I think the Pacers have a decent riddle on the road. Kyrie Irving's out tonight, but the Pacers are banged up too. Again, if the Nets lose, they're 2-3 in the conference. Nets is 23. If the Nets lose, they're 5-8 for the season. Nets is 58. If the Pacers win, they're 3-4 away. They play the 76ers next. 76ers is 34, so is Indiana. If the Nets lose, they're 3-3 at home. Indiana's 137, the 33rd prime. If you want to add to that list, New York's 33. But so far, it doesn't seem like New York and 33 really matters with Brooklyn. So I think the Pacers being on the road have a decent narrative. Raptors, again, there's 9 games in the NBA. You got 23 date numerology, the 9th prime. I think the Raptors do get this 9th win tonight. Hornets can fall to 6-8 on the 68 date numerology. Hornets upset riddle is to win their next 2 away games to become 5-3 away because they play Brooklyn Nets, which equals 53. It's possible, but I think they'll probably lose tonight. Again, I like the Blazers to get their 9th loss. Houston Rockets equals 59 in the most pure cipher. It does also equal 68. You got the 68 date numerology. But I still like the Rockets. Rockets win. They become 6-1 at home. Blazers is 61. So is Mavericks. They host the Mavericks next. NBA TV's 59 as well for the Blazers to fall to 5-9, so I like the Rockets here. Bucks and Bulls. If I'm taking this game, I'm taking the Bulls to cover. I think they got a shot at an upset, but I'd play it safe and have them cover. If the Bucks lose, they're 5-3 in the conference. Milwaukee's 53. If the Bucks do win, though, again, they're 6-2 in the conference. Their next conference opponent's the Hawks. Hawks is 62. So that's the best thing going for the Bucks tonight. The Nines could play. If the Bucks lose, both teams will stay on 9. Bucks will stay on 9 wins. Bulls will stay on 9 losses. Again, 9 games tonight. 23-date numerology, the 9th prime. Bulls could improve to 2-3 in the division on the 23 dates. They could improve to 3-4 at home. Bucks is 34. So they got a shot there. Spurs and Mavericks, I'd probably stay away from this game. I think it's very dicey. Spurs can improve to 6-8 on the 68-date numerology and stay on 68 losses versus the Mavericks. So, I mean, that in itself looks really good, but then on the other side, you have the 9 going against them. And if the Mavericks win this game, they should be golden against the Warriors, because if they win the next 2, they're 9-5, and Warriors is 95, so tough one, tough game. I wouldn't play it. If I did, again, I'm not going to play it, but if I had to, I'd probably take the Spurs to cover, but again, I don't like that game. Celtics and Suns, I don't like this game either. If the Celtics lose, it's like people have called in and said, it's got to be a tribute to the Patriots. Patriots 53, 5-3 away, 10-3. We've seen so much of that number in the NFL this year, 103. Caller?
Hey, Zach, I found an article, November 15, 2017, a couple years ago. Andy Reid is 16-2 over the course of his careers in games following a bye week. 16-2. That was in 2017.
Right, so he's had a couple. So you'd have to go back and see his results since then to figure it out.
But pretty decent. But I just thought I'd put that out there.
Yeah, appreciate it, Uzi. Thanks, man.
All right.
Here, after I review this real quick, I'll go back and figure out what he is based off that article. I did see that article too. Okay, so Celtics. I mean, ultimately, I would just stay away from this game. If the Suns lose tonight, they're 3-2 versus the East. Boston's 32. If the Celtics win, they're 4-1 versus the West. LA's 41. They play LA next. But at the same time, if the Celtics lose, they're 5-3 away. Los Angeles is 53, who they play next. So that's why that game's tough. Timberwolves have a shot at an upset. It's because they could get to 5-2 away, a number that plays hard with Minnesota. But again, today leaves 43 days left in the year. They could become 4-3 away. 43 is the 14th prime. Utah's 14. So if I played this game, I'd take the Timberwolves to cover. If I'm trying to get a big parlay multiplier on a small bet, I'd take the Timberwolves on the money line. Also, maybe the Bulls. If the Bulls and the Timberwolves both upset tonight, and you have a parlay card where the rest of the game's hit, I mean, those would be some big multipliers right there. So there is a chance. If the Jazz lose, they're 6-1 at home, like 61. 61's the 18th prime. It's the 18th of the month. But the Jazz are a team that can get that 9th win tonight as well. And I think the 9s could be big today. So Vivint Smart Home Arena where they play equals 94. They'd be 9-4 with the win. And so it makes that tough. But yeah, Minnesota's got a shot at an upset, no doubt about it. So if Utah loses, they're 8-5. Basketball's 85. Utah's 58. The reflection. Thunder and Clippers. I like the Clippers to get to 8-1 at home. Los Angeles Clippers is 81 in the most pure cipher. They can get that 9th win. Thunder would fall to 5-8. They play the Los Angeles Lakers tomorrow. Los Angeles Lakers 58. The only thing for the Thunder there is to improve to 1-4 away, because LA's 14. Chris Paul going up against his old team. But I like the fact that the Clippers can, again, get to 8-1 at home. Los Angeles Clippers 81, get that 9th win. Thunder play the Lakers 5-8. I just like all that, so I think that's the better riddle. So in basketball, I think the safest riddles are Clippers, Rockets, Raptors, and if you're taking a road team, the Pacers. Again, the one concern with the Pacers is just picking up that 74th loss all time in the series because Brooklyn, New York, 74. Yeah, man. As I say that, I'm reminded about their home record too. If the Nets did win today, they'd become 48 and 43 at home. Today does leave 43 days left in the year, and today does have 48-day numerology. So, and the Pacers are banged up, but Irving's out. So, yeah, it's tough. But again, just all these things really line up nicely for the Pacers. Nets falling to 2 and 3 in the conference. Nets becoming 5 and 8. Indiana based on who they play next. So, out of the 4 safest games, I'd rank this one as the 4th safest. Pacers on the road. This is the one. This and this are the things to fret over. So, I do find though that I have a lot more success using the stats of just what's right there that you see in the box score, the record for the season, the home and away record, conference record. This stuff up here, it can be helpful, but it does burn me a lot. So that's the most impressive thing for the Nets tonight is that part. What's up, man?
Hey Zach, how you doing?
Doing all right.
Hey man, I just wanted to bring a couple things to your attention. During the Vikings game yesterday, when they were way behind, I went down to my mom's house. I was watching it down there, and the announcer says how many yards the Vikings had and how many yards the Broncos had, and he said they only had 211 yards or whatever, and the Vikings only had like 30-something or something like that. And I'm like, yeah, 211's the 47th prime number, and I'm sitting there, and I laughed, and I said, yeah, and watch, it'll be something like, right now, the tides will turn or something. And then all of a sudden I looked, and I'm like, no, wait, look at that. They're at the 47-yard marker, and
right.
then next thing you know, the Vikings scored a 54-yard touchdown.
Nice.
And then right after that, they scored a 32-yard touchdown. Minnesota's the 32nd state, and they come back to win, But that ain't why I called. I called because of your video on that Twins guy. I was driving to another office this morning, and I heard them break that news on the radio about that prospect that died, right?
Right.
I knew right away they're like, natural causes. And I'm like, wow, 23 natural causes, that's bullshit. And I knew you'd be all over it. And I just was watching your video now. And so, get this. Natural causes equals 38. Just like murder, killing, death. Prospect equals, let's see here. Where did I have it? 41, just like HW, 41. And there was something else to this. I got it on the thing here. Let's see. Well, Twins equals 32, like 32nd state, but that ain't what I was saying. It was English extended. Let me find it here. English extended. It was. Where the hell is it now? Natural causes. If you look at English extended, and if you look at it in like the reflection, it's 1181. But if you look at it backwards, it's 1811, just like 18th of November, like today.
Right. Oh, that's interesting. Yeah. Yeah. Definitely a ritual, man. So.
Right.
All right, brother.
Yeah.
I appreciate
it. Man. Just wanted to show you that.
All right. Thanks, Jason, man. Take care.
You too.
All right. See you. Okay, so the hockey, again, there's usually an upset when there's just 2 games in hockey, and between the 2 games that are played, the one number that can play out today is 13. Again, you got this 41 date numerology, the 13th prime. If the Capitals lost today, if they got upset, who are big favorites at home, they would stay on 13 points at home to the Ducks. Ducks are 13. And if they did lose, they'd be 5 and 6. Washington, D.C.'s 56. No guarantee that they do because the Ducks can fall to 4 and 6 away. Anaheim Ducks is 46. Capitals, again, could get the 38th points in the 38th game. DC on the 38th parallel. If they got to 16-3, a bit like 163 to 38th prime. I mean, all that's there. But usually there's at least one upset. And oftentimes it is the team that has the bigger line. So that's there. And then the Kings and Coyotes game. The 13 can play in this one again, too. The Coyotes can get their 13th win of the season, and the Kings can get their 13th loss. And, of course, LA's 13. So I'm thinking that that's likely to come through since the 13s are on both sides in this game. And LA Kings is 28. If the Coyotes won, they'd get their 28th points. The one thing going for the Kings in this game is that they can potentially get to 3-7 away because Los Angeles is 37. But at the same time, they can be 2-8-1. LA Kings is 28. And actually, as I say that, let me check something real quick. Is Coyotes 60? No, it's not. Never mind. Arizona. Yeah, never mind. Wrong about that. I was thinking maybe there was a 60 connection. Oh, but God, you know what? As I say that, what I just thought about is a big number with Skull and Bones is 281. The founder died 281 days after his birthday. You just saw HW die in the 281 area code. Prescott Bush died on the 281st day of the year. So today's the 322nd day of the year. 281 goes with Skull and Bones. We just saw Verlander. He fell to 14-9. Skull and Bones is 149 in the postseason, and then later he lost in the postseason on the 281st day of the year. Huh. I'm just thinking about what they might have to do with the Kings. 281, Skull and Bones number. And remember that. And speaking of Skull and Bones, we've already documented some 2-2-3, 3-2-2 riddles with the Capitals this year that were synced up with the Nationals when the postseason was going on. So now here they are playing on the 322nd day of the year. All right. But yeah, anyway, I think the 13, since they're on both sides, is a good sign for the Coyotes there. It's just that there usually is one upset in these two games, and you don't want to be on the wrong side picking which. So anyway, the fact that the 13s are on both sides, the 41 date, LA, the land of 13, perfect team to get the 13th win against. I do favor the Coyotes there, so it's a little bit dangerous. Hockey 2-day, but so yeah, we've reviewed hockey, basketball, and let's see. Monday Night Football, I was saying I was going to go back and look at the Andy Reid bye week and then see what the Chiefs did the last 2 years in their bye weeks. Andy Reid bye week record. All right. Let's see. How Andy Reid made Sean Payton NFL's as coach after bye weeks. I like how it says how he made him, like how it's all scripted. This is from October. All right, so we can figure it out from here. Playing the Kansas City Chiefs after a bye week is no fun. Head coach Andy Reid is excellent at outsmarting the opposition. So all right, let's go back. Chiefs 2016 season. All right, so the Raiders drew the short stick. So let's make sure that was the game after the bye week. Okay, okay. Put this way down at the bottom. All right, so they had a bye, and then they beat the Raiders, and then that's when this article was written. So that he became 15-2 after a bye in 2016. Oh, actually, this article was written before that game was played, so they became 16-2 then that year. So he was 15-2 prior to that, so he became 16-2. Let's see. Okay, so he was 16-2. And then, let's see, Chiefs 2017 schedule. Okay, so Chiefs, where was their bye week? Right here. No, never mind, that was wrong. Oh, that's right there, bye week. All right, so they came out, they lost this game. So they became, think about that. So he became 16-3 after a bye week against the Giants, 163, the 38th prime, Giants equals 38. So he became 16-3 after a bye, losing to the Giants. Okay, so that was 2017. So 16-3, 2018. In 2018, they win against the Raiders to become 17-3. 17-3. And then that brings us to this year. So Andy Reid is 17. So he can get his 18th win after the bye on the 18th of the month. Andy Reid can get the 18th win after a bye on the 18th. All right, hold up. I'm just thinking about the 17-4. If there'd be anything with that. Okay, Reid is 17-3 after a bye week. Can pick up 18th win on the 18th of the month. And I don't believe that there's any 183 connection with caller? Oh, he hung up. Let's see here. NFL cheat sheet. Caller?
Yeah, Chiefs bye week is next week, and then after bye week they will play the Raiders. We got that week.
Oh yeah. They didn't even have a bye last week. They lost to the Titans. Why was that even brought up? The bye week thing.
Right, bye week next week, and then they play Raiders. So I wanted to point it out to you.
Yeah, I appreciate it, man. Somebody brought up bye week, so I was just thinking, okay, yeah, man, thank you.
No problem.
All right, yeah, thanks. Yeah, that's true. We're looking that up, and he doesn't even... That's right. Why did we bring up bye week this week? Okay, well, at least we know for next time. So never mind. We can disregard that. Yeah, it's still a tight one, but again, Andy Reid does have the skull and bones thing. He can get his 202nd win on the 322nd day of the year. One more time, skull and bones equals 202. And that's probably not arbitrary because the 202nd minute of the day is when the time reads 3:22 in the morning. So, at the same time, you can get that 129th loss. Estadio Aztecas 129. If Reid did lose, he'd stay on 213 all-time wins. LA's the 213 area code. So that's another thing there that could go against him. Aztec Stadium. So that's what's tricky about this stadium. There's an English way to say it and a Spanish way. Aztec Stadium is 142. He could stay on 142 all-time losses as well. And Aztec Stadium's also 74. His team could improve to 7-4. So, and then with Mahomes, he can get his 11th away win to conclude Week 11, or he could become 18-8. And Los Angeles Chargers is 188. But between those two, I really do like the 11th away win more. And again, the biggest 11 riddle is that if the Chargers lose, home teams are 6-6 on Monday Night Football, and 66 is the 11th triangular number. Just like how the 55s hit in both primetime games last week in Week 10. Thursday Night Football, home teams became 5-5. Sunday Night Football, home teams became 5-5. So I think that might be the top riddle, but still dangerous. So let me check in with the chat. Before I do that, let me do one more thing real quick. Just scan college basketball, see what's going on tonight. In case there's some low-hanging fruit. Alright, we got some games underway. Let's see. Is there anything that looks like it's close? Colorado, UC Irvine. I see Colorado's a 10.5 point favorite, and UC Irvine could become 4-1 on the day, leaving 41 days left in the year. So let's take a look at that real quick. Colorado college basketball head-to-head. 117th season. When you read out 13, it's 117. 41's the 13th prime. Let's see. Irvine. They're 5-0 versus UC Irvine. Haven't lost a game yet. Anteaters. Let's see. UC Irvine. Anteaters. Anteaters was 31, and what did I just see? UC Irvine could improve to 3-1 away. Anteaters is 31. And double check that one more time. UC Irvine. Buffaloes. Colorado Buffaloes. Let's see. Let's look at the coaches real quick. Russell Turner. Tell me he's going for his 38th win. How come his name didn't come up? Russ Turner. Okay. Come on, Russ. He's on 191 wins, the 43rd prime. Today leaves 43 days left in the year. Next loss is 130. Colorado is also 43, so looking at his record, there is a chance he could stay on that 191st win at Colorado. Because again, Colorado's 43, 191, the 43rd prime. So even though his team has a decent roll through the head-to-head record, I don't like that for him. And let's see about the Colorado basketball coach, Tad Boyle. What a name. What are the odds? He's on 191 wins too? You got to be kidding me. Huh. So it could go against either of them. Either one of them could stay on 191 wins. That's crazy. Huh. Well, we know why they're playing on the day, leaving 43 days left in the year. That's funny. Let's see who the UC Irvine team plays next. Whoops. TCU. Horned Frogs. TCU. Horned Frogs, 51. What do they got to do? They got to win both games. How's TCU playing right now? (2-0) overall, 2-0 at home. Well, I wish it was a little bit more clear with the coaches. They both have the exact same predicament. Just looking on the surface, though, UC Irvine being a 10.5-point dog, I mean, their riddle's not bad, improving to 4-1 on the 41 date. We saw that their nickname, the Anteaters, is 31. And speaking of Anteaters being 31, that is the 11th prime. If Colorado lost, they'd be 1-1 at home. Let's see who Colorado plays next. Wyoming, Cowboys. Cowboys is 30, so if they won, they'd be 3-0 to face the Cowboys. Yeah, it's tough. Was that game at home? Oh, it's at Colorado. Sacramento State Hornets. It's their next home game. Hornets. Sacramento State, the way it's written, is 40. If they won their next 2 games, they'd be 4-0 to face them. Yeah, it's a little bit dicey. What's Colorado done in their first 2 games? Beat San Diego by 18, beat Arizona State by 10. So they barely beat San Diego. Colorado beat them pretty good. Got beat by Pepperdine, Life Pacific, Boise State. So yeah, Colorado's by far the toughest opponent they faced. There is an upset narrative there. I just wish that coach, I wish he was going for his 191st win. That'd be beautiful. Alright, so yeah, if I did take a stab at that, I'd definitely take them with the points, but still, it's not the safest riddle, so probably wait for a better one. Utah State can get to 5-0. I'm sure that's going to happen. Utah's 50. And this school can fall to 0-5, but are they going to cover 18.5 points? Alright, I think that's it for today. So, basketball, we got that group of games. 2 potential upsets on the board. And NFL, again, tight one. Again, if you had a great day yesterday, I might just take the night off. But I do think that that top riddle is just the continuation of the Monday Night Football riddle. Again, if home teams do lose, they're 6-6. 66 is the 11th triangular number. It's week 11. So you got riddles going both ways, though. But we're just seeing how the primetime records interconnect week to week. Somebody called and hung up all in the same one. Unless it's my phone that's just screwing up, because multiple people have called, it's rung one time and hung up. I don't know if that's my phone or just the way it's working out. So I see somebody wrote, they're using a more abstract cipher, so that is interesting, but I mean, I've just seen too many things with the other ciphers that line up and don't come through, so John has an observation, though, that is interesting about how Rivers could work out with the stadium based on that cipher, so hold on, let me see what the over-under is for the game, too. Let's see what the current is. And we'll also look at how the money is on the game right now. So Kansas City, a 5.5-point favorite. For both teams, again, it is their 11th game. 11 is the 5th prime number. The 5s, if the 5s hit, that would go in favor of the Chargers. That is something that's there on the Chargers side. Over-unders at 53, Los Angeles number. I was hoping that there would be something with, because right now home teams are 83-77, and unfortunately we don't have a connection with either team. But again, if the Chargers did lose, it'd be the 78th loss, which is the 12th triangular number, which would send us into Week 12. And if home team stayed on 83 wins, the Texans host the first game of next week. Texans is 83. So... yeah. Right. I'm looking at Prescott Bush's death. Okay. Brad Allen's got that 213 Gematria, Los Angeles area code, so I don't know what Cypher did for the 213. Yeah. Anyway, again, just we've seen again. I'm using the same logic as last week. Monday night, or not Monday, Thursday and Sunday last week, Week 10, home teams became 5-5. 55 is the 10th triangular number. It's Week 11. 66 is the 11th triangular number. So Chargers lose, home teams are 6-6. And again, in all those games, it's just like in the Minneapolis game. You looked at that game, it seemed like almost everything lined up for the Cowboys except for the 55-10 thing, and also that the Cowboys could get the 38th regular season loss in their stadium to Minnesota 38. So again, I'm going to apply what we've observed. So all right, let's see. All right, Kayla says she has some good Skull and Bones note. I see the thing about Geronimo's Skulls 188, huh? That's interesting. That's interesting. Kayla, February 17th, 48th day of the year, not 84th day of the year. She got dyslexic with that one. But February 17th is the 48th day of the year. Chargers does equal 43 in light of today leaving 43 days left in the year. So let me make sure there weren't any other 43s playing in this game. Chiefs are 4-1 away. Chargers are 2-3 at home. Yeah, so you can't get a 43 to play in the record. Chargers is 43 days left in the year. Let me remind myself who the Chiefs play away next. They play at the Patriots next. And then at the Bears. That's tricky. Their next home game's against the Vikings. If they lost their next two home games, they'd be 2-5, the reflection of 52. Oh, speaking of the Vikings, I saw some stat about Kirk Cousins. I think it was that he lost 97, or God, what was it? The Vikings had lost 97 straight games in the fourth quarter when trailing by 10 or more points. So that was the 98th game where it could have happened, and of course Vikings equals 98, like how they hosted the Super Bowl in the 98th season. But just all that stuff, man. They put up some stats last night. I was watching ESPN last night after the game, and I was just like, God, I need to have this recorded. Kidding me with these stats they're throwing out here? That was one of them I remember. Yeah, I'm just trying to think about the Chargers' record going forward based on what could happen tonight. They'd have to win their next 2 home games to get to 4-3. Chargers is 43 like football. And then they'd have to win all 3 to get to 5-3. Los Angeles 53. So that is one of the Chargers' better riddles tonight, becoming 3-3 at home on Monday Night Football. But yeah, Chargers could have a rebound second half. It's possible. So they definitely need this win tonight. All right. Did I get it all? Did I get all the Geronimo clues? Prescott died at age 77, 47 years ago. All right. His death. Okay. Yeah, you did a good job lining all that up. It's just, in light of the Skull and Bones thing, the only Skull and Bones number I see on the board is if Andy Reid wins, getting that 202nd win. Yeah, Rivers was on 43 home losses. That's right. That is true. All-time, that is. His all-time stat. So Rivers does have some encouraging things. Again, he could get that 15th win on Monday Night Football versus the Chiefs. MNF is 15. The Monday Night Football numbers definitely play. So yeah, it's a tight one. Again, that's why, I'm going to say it one more time. If you had a good weekend this weekend, which you should have, we were perfect in the games we picked this weekend. You might just want to chill because it is a little bit tight. So we'll leave it there, you guys. All the notes are there. You're welcome, Sumner. Appreciate it, man. I have to go work on, do a little meeting here with the people that are finishing up the website. Again, the goal is to get everybody transferred over to the website so that we can filter out the trolling and actually use the communication page to communicate rather than be harassed by trolls. Unfortunately, there's nothing you can do about the trolling on Patreon because the people who designed it probably didn't anticipate that people would ever sign up for somebody's Patreon to troll them. But anyway, got to do that, and then I'm going to be working on the NFL Week 12 decode. My goal is to have it out tonight because I have a ton of crap I have to do this week, so I want to get the NFL Week 12 decode out tonight, so look for that. And be back tomorrow. Again, trying to start it around 1 p.m. Pacific, these live streams. Just there's a lot of games to go through each day. So we'll leave it there. Good luck, everybody. And what about Keenan Allen? Okay, let me do this before I go. What about Keenan Allen? Let's see. Yeah, I would have liked to have done the position players tonight, but I'm going to be late here if I don't leave in a minute. Keenan Allen, April 27th. All right, let's see. Okay. 205 days. It would also be his 206th day of his age. Keenan Alexander Allen, 179 like Chargers. And he's number 13. We got the 41 date numerology, the 13th prime, so it's a good day for 13s. Drafted in 2013. What's his stats? Let's see what kind of numbers he comes in with. Where's his stats at? It's going to be his 77th game. Comes in with 31 touchdowns. If he scored 2 tonight, he could get to 33 on Monday Night Football. If he got 1, he'd have 32. Kansas City's 32. Chiefs is 32. I'd say 1 touchdown from Allen sounds about right. And I'd say at least 1 touchdown looks good for him. All right, guys, we'll leave it there. Again, good luck. We'll be back tomorrow, same time. Look for the post tonight for the NFL Week 12 early decode. Of course, when I put it out tonight, it'll have all the primary information, but it won't be finished. Usually get it finished by Saturday when we do our live stream. And then usually in the live stream, you guys point out some things I missed, so there's always more that gets penciled in. But I like to get that information out as early as possible so you guys can study it. All right, guys, good luck. Have a great rest of your day. Thanks as always. Till next time.